W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's time for Sports 56 Middays with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. The first hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by Action247.com. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
I got a piece of land out in the countryside. Lay back and smell the sun. Warm up the Georgia pie. Feels so good to me. Taking it easy. Why would I ever leave? 'Cause I know I got some good friends.
This has the makings of a spectacular Friday here in Memphis. It's already started out with a bang. Harris English with the long birdie putt on hole 11. His second hole in round two, and he has shot up to 9 under par. He is your leader at the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational as we welcome you into Sports 56 Middays on this Friday, August 6th, 2021. Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on location at the Hub or inside the Hub at TPC Southland, just off the 18th fairway. Gabe Kuhn producing the program back in the Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road. That's just north of I-40. The first hour of the program brought to you each and every day by our friends at Action 24/7. And our golf coverage is brought to you by great sponsors like Family Leisure, Gateway Tire, Automatic Air, Guns and Ammo, Coletta's, TJ Mulligan's, Great American Home Store, Jason's Deli, Ronnie Grisanti's, Bellyacres, and Golf Sticks Pretzels. Also by Napa Auto Parts, and we mentioned this yesterday. Their national hiring event is going on today here in Memphis from 12 to 6. For more information, head to NapaAutoJobs.com. Well, I said it could be a spectacular Friday. First of all, you got the golf tournament. Second of all, tonight we'll know at about anywhere between 5 and 6:30 Central Time the decision that Jalen Duren will make, and most believe that Jalen Duren will be followed by Imani Bates, and both are headed to the University of Memphis. Again, nothing concrete at the moment, but we'll talk more about that on the show today. Also coming up, Ross Bjork's going to join us at 10:25, the athletics director at Texas A&M, and of course caught right in the middle of the big Texas-Oklahoma news as they are now members of the SEC. We'll get the A&M point of view from our friend Ross Bjork. At 11:30, Brian Moss will join us, the publisher of TigerSportsReport.com. He covers the Tigers like we do as well, and the Tigers football team opening up camp today. Later this afternoon will be practice number 1 as the season is just around the corner. We'll talk to Brian about what to look forward to as far as battles are concerned and other things in camp. And then at 12:30, our good buddy Sean McKeel, the 2003 PGA champion, is expected to join us here inside the Hub. At 12 o'clock, we'll do 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. I can tell you it's a golf question, and I think it's a very easy question. We'll also have a Summer Olympics update, the Summer Games, coming your way at 11:20. Big day in the NBA as well, as trades can be announced. The Grizzlies, of course, involved in one, free agency signings, and a lot of things that could be happening in what has been a busy week or so in the NBA. But Eli, last night we went home. We maybe looked back at the scores of the day, and we thought, wow, even though this is a tremendously tough course, the conditions were right for these guys to go low, and Harris English was the best of them with an 8 under 62, and already with a big birdie today to move to 9 under.
Yeah, his front 9 yesterday was flawless. He can't do much better, making 7 birdies. The only holes he didn't birdie were 5 and 8. He was incredible, and then made a couple of bogeys early on his back 9, but then able to get it back together, hit it to, 2-3 feet on 18 to birdie to end it and get it to 8 under par. But, yeah, and it's much of the same today. I mean, there is no wind whatsoever. So it's perfectly calm conditions, and even on a tough golf course, if you give these guys perfect conditions, they have the ability to go low because these guys are good. They probably should try and use that line somewhere.
Could be a great slogan for the tour.
Be a good slogan, something like that. But man, yeah, it's 7 under, shooting 28 on the front. I don't care if it's perfect conditions or not. 28 on the front out here is doing something.
I mentioned yesterday on the broadcast that AccuWeather, when we went on the air, said 1 mile per hour winds and gusts of 2. Well, this is a broken record because as I look at the weather forecast and the current conditions, wind northeast 1 mile per hour, gusts at 2. Precipitation chance is only 15%. It's 78 degrees. It's overcast, and it is delightful once again out there for the patrons and spectators who come by to watch these great golfers.
Yeah, I walked around a little bit this morning, watched the first group of the day going off 10, and just kind of walking around. It's like you don't even think about sweating. It's really comfortable just to
How rare
walk
is that for
around
us?
out here and enjoy yourself. And, so come on out, have some fun out here. Should be a great day of golf. And if you're coming out, stop by and see us here at the Hub along the 18th fairway. We are the Hub is the big tent that is closer to the tee box of the 2 giant tents along 18 fairway. It's open to the public. You can come on in. You got the Pronto Pup stand. You got the Tito's Vodka stand. You got AutoZone set up with kids games for the kids. A charging station if you need a little juice for your phone. You can do that in here. They got some other interactive stuff that you can take advantage of here in the Hub, and it's air conditioned as well. So if you do get a little warm by chance, need to cool down, come on by here at the Hub and see us and have a little fun in here.
And I got to tell you this, because I saw 2 women, as you were talking, walk up to the door and look at the mask sign on the door and turn around kind of in a little bit frustration and walk away. Again, you can pick up a mask pretty much anywhere here on the course in case you forgot your mask. You walk in here with a mask, but you take it off when you're sitting down and you're drinking and you're eating. You don't have to wear that mask. So, and when you're walking around the course, you don't have to wear that mask. So don't worry about that. Obviously, the numbers have gone up and we're scrambling a little bit, but hopefully cooler minds will prevail in the long run with people who are still on the fence about getting, and I'm not going to go in a diatribe about that, but getting the vaccination. But again, you can come in to the Hub, and if you're missing, I'm not sure if they have them here, but I know
Yes, they do. But
Yeah.
they're not. They're not very stringent on the mask policy.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but yes, you're not. There won't be the mask police coming after you.
You could walk in here without a mask on. If you want to go grab one, they've got some in here, but they are not going to. There's nobody at the door going to tell you to get out because you don't have a mask on.
Right.
They are very lenient on their mask.
In fact,
rules
there's
out
nobody
here.
at the door here at the Hub. You just walk right in. All right, one of the hot players or golfers on the course right now is Kevin Kisner. He is 2 under through 2, and he's moved to 5 under par. So early in round 2, Harris English 9 under for the tournament. Ian Poulter, even through his first hole, he's 6 under. Jim Herman, Carlos Ortiz, Matthew Wolff all shot 6 under yesterday. We had 4 players yesterday shoot 64s. 3 players were at 5 under, including Bryson DeChambeau at 65, who, by the way, announced yesterday he would not be doing any more interviews this week. So a lot made, of course, of his vaccination comments and remarks, but DeChambeau's playing some good golf. As far as tee times are concerned, obviously English and his group underway. That includes Colin Morikawa and Hideki Matsuyama. So you got major winners along with Harris English, your first-round leader. Xander Schauffele, Justin Thomas, Justin Rose right behind. They went off at 9:48. Webb Simpson, Lee Westwood, Shane Lowry behind them. They went off at 9:59. So the next tee times to go would be at 10:10. At 10:10. But Dustin Johnson, 10:43 with Bryson DeChambeau, Cameron Smith, Brooks Koepka, Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy at 10:54. And again, this is right in order. Daniel Berger, Tommy Fleetwood, Mark Leishman at 11:05. They all go off from tee number 1 here in round number 2. So there you go, a little bit of what's happening early on in round number 2 of the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational. But the story in round 1 was great conditions, low scores, and the Georgia Bulldog Harris English off to the great start after a 62, and now adding a birdie to get to 9 under par. Okay, so tonight we will find out Jalen Duren's intentions in what they call the decision, which is expected to run
Decision 2, right? Doesn't have to be.
Decision 2. 5 to 6:30 Central Time. Did you find out where it's going to be broadcast?
I did. I put no effort whatsoever into that.
I forgot to do that. I wanted to do that. Gabe, I hate to ask you again. I don't know if you'll be able to find it, but if you do, let us know. There's no rush on that. But I'm sure folks want to watch that, especially if it goes the way of the University of Memphis, which, again,
do folks really want to watch an hour and a half of a guy choosing his college?
I guarantee you Memphis Tiger basketball fans want to watch that, and they'll watch with bated breath. I'm not saying they'll watch the duration of it.
I think the Heisman Trophy ceremony is way too long at an hour. An hour and a half for a kid to announce where he's going to school.
Oh, it's crazy.
Ridiculous.
No, it's crazy, and you're right about the Heisman as well. Get to it, right? Get to the point. But I guarantee you there'll be a lot of folks with Memphis Tigers ties that'll be watching tonight. But the thought is, and what everybody is hearing, is that Duran's going to commit to Memphis. And I'm not sure exactly when with Imani Bates, but they feel that Bates and Duran are going to team up. We have not heard news, and we did not get any news yesterday about Rasheed Wallace, but it is expected that he will join Penny's staff. Again, nothing concrete until the national letters of intent are signed, until Rasheed Wallace announces that he's coming. But there's a lot of, right now, eager anticipation for what's going to happen to make this Friday even more special. And then I mentioned Tigers football kicking off camp today, later this afternoon, with the expectations fairly high, although we talked about the media predictions for the American having Memphis at number 5, but we're going to be eager to watch that quarterback battle and to see who comes out on top, if it will indeed be Grant Cannell. So a lot of things happening here in the area with the golf, with football, and with Tigers basketball. Of course, last night, the NFL preseason, games-wise, kicked off with the Hall of Fame game, and I'll get to that in a second. But it was really cool because you have the combination of the class of 2020, the Hall of Fame class of 2020, and the Hall of Fame class of 2021, who are being honored. The class of 2020 will be inducted tomorrow night, and the class of 2021 Sunday night. But they were all there at the game yesterday. And the introduction of the 20 class included, of course, our friend Isaac Bruce. And he had a smile from ear to ear. It was fantastic. Of course, that's that big class that includes those centennial players, some that are still alive, some that have passed away, a really big class. And then the 2021 class, of course, spearheaded by the great Peyton Manning. Charles Woodson's a part of that, Calvin Johnson. So a lot of big names that will be enshrined this weekend, a lot of big names that will be there to watch the enshrinement, including Tom Brady, who will be there in support of Peyton Manning. But forget about the game last night. Just to hear from some of those new Hall of Famers. Drew Pearson, former Cowboy wide receiver, who's about as excitable as anybody I've ever seen. He let it out yesterday. He really did in that interview with Tom Rinaldi.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a really long, obviously, for that 2020 class, especially with all of the different people going in. But, yeah, it's going to be a long weekend. But really for fans, it works out well if you made the trip there for this year to go to the enshrinement ceremony and you get to get 2 classes, including a very large class. It worked out well for fans to be able to go do that. So I'm certainly looking forward to hearing from Peyton Manning, and Drew Pearson will be another one, just as a Cowboy and a guy who can be very entertaining. So yeah, I am looking forward to the. While I didn't care one bit about the game, and the game did not disappoint my expectations, was almost really exactly what I expected. The ceremony for the enshrinement will be is always a fun thing. The speeches are always really cool. Yes,
if you did bet that game last night, you are a degenerate. But if you are scoring at home, Pittsburgh ended up winning the game 16-3. And yes, first preseason game. Each team plays 3 this year. They're down a game, remember, because it's a 17-game regular season. But Dallas and Pittsburgh, they play 4 total, including the game last night. A lot of the backups played, a lot of guys who will be nowhere near the rosters, the final rosters. They'll be cut and looking for other opportunities in the NFL or other employment elsewhere. But the one thing that, and I watched for about pretty much the first quarter, I wanted to see Najee Harris run the ball. He had a couple of totes, looked pretty good for Pittsburgh. No Ben Roethlisberger, no Dak Prescott. But I liked in the early part of the game when, actually right before they kicked, Tom Rinaldi is interviewing Mike Tomlin, and Aaron Andrews then interviewed Mike McCarthy. And I noticed they both called those coaches Mike, which is their given name. No coach. How you doing, coach? Thanks for joining us, coach. Mike. I'm not saying you're wrong if you say coach, because I say it a lot. But I don't think you're wrong if you call that coach by their given first name, which has become obviously a controversy under Deion Sanders and then escalated a little bit yesterday by your boy Jason Garrett.
Yeah, I think the whole thing has been pretty much put to bed.
Until yesterday.
Quite frankly, when Jason Garrett says it, I don't think anybody cares.
Well,
it's kind of like, shut up, Jason.
You're probably right. It probably lasts just yesterday throughout the news cycle, but it was on, as you would imagine, ESPN and all over social media. But it is what it is. Yeah, I think today we move on. If now all of a sudden there's a rash of coaches that start to do that, then we got a little bit of an issue. But I don't believe that will happen. So we are just underway. Again, we invite you to come on by, see us. We're broadcasting live from the Hub at TPC Southwind. We will be followed by Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio, Willow and Stats, Sports Time on Sports 56. They'll be here as well from 3 to 6 before we wrap up our coverage. And again, a big thank you to all our great sponsors. When we come back, Ross Bjork, the Director of Athletics for Texas A&M, is scheduled to join us to talk about the huge news of Texas and Oklahoma moving into the SEC. And, of course, hearing that news, the responses that were made by Ross and the Texas A&M faithful, and then finally voted in with the 14-0 vote from the SEC. So everything from the perspective of the Aggies. Gig 'em when we return. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Get happy with Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. Weekday afternoons from 1 to 3 on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm Brian Elder. The great Kimmons Wilson of Holiday Inn had a slogan: the best surprise is no surprise. And that's so true. When I sit at your kitchen table, you're going to understand exactly what I'm going to do to your roof. From the underlayment to the hip shingles and ventilation, the flashing, the wood repairs, the cleanup, the crew safety, the warranty. It's amazing how many customers sign contracts being told none of that stuff. But the best surprise is no surprise. Insurance claims. Talk to your friends. More and more claims are being rejected, and only experienced claim specialists are getting those terrible decisions overturned. So if you don't hire me, please hire someone to manage the process with the experience to see it through. The best surprise is no surprise. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Magic in Memphis. Excellence delivered. Where the world comes to showdown. To be the king of Grind City. Today's stars, tomorrow's legends. Taking care of business. Compete to conquer the world. Don't miss the World Golf Championships FedEx St. Jude Invitational. August 5th through 8th. For more information, visit WGCFedEx.com.
Attention foodies, there's a great new place to eat in a great restored building. South Hall Cafe is now open for breakfast, brunch, and lunch in the former Tobacco Corner. Chef Jesus Ramon is creating classics from scratch with a twist. Enjoy all your favorites, including the best cheese grits in the South, a full bar, an in-house pastry chef, catering, online ordering for curbside or delivery, and a covered patio with live music on the weekends. We're open 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays and 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. on weekends. South Hall Cafe, corner of Poplar and Mendenhall.
Can I get serious with you for just a minute? When you shop at the Great American Home Store this week, you'll find incredible pricing on quality-built furniture that's built to last and give you years of use and enjoyment. But if you notice that so many things these days just seem to be disposable, but your furniture shouldn't be, right? And yet at the same time, we understand you may not want to keep a sofa around for 20 years. So we search for and find quality-built pieces made to last and keep the cost at, well, what other stores sell lesser quality for. Come in and compare, and we know you'll agree that at the Great American Home Store, you get the look for a lot less with quality. We have the Mid-South's largest selection of sofas in every style you can imagine, dining rooms from formal to casual. We have bar stools, bedrooms in the latest styles, and the top brand mattress sets from Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. So with great pricing and no interest financing, this is a great time to save. Seriously. But hurry, an offer like this can't last forever at the Great American Home Store.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour is brought to you by Action247.com. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Summers are supposed to be relatively slow when it comes to sports stories. Usually we get a lot of our vacations in on the radio station during the summer because not a ton's happening. But this summer has been absolutely wall-to-wall crazy with news stories, and it hasn't stopped. Obviously, camps are opening up around the country for college football, the NFL. We had our first preseason game last night. We're right here at TPC Southwind in the midst of the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational. Of course, one of the big stories in college athletics, the name, image, likeness topic, which now is reality. And then, of course, the big news that's happened in the last couple of weeks that broke during SEC Media Days was Texas and Oklahoma and the possibility of them joining the SEC. Well, now it is reality. And what will it mean for college football, college athletics? Will there be dominoes that will continue to fall? We are very pleased to be joined by a good friend of the show. When he was at Ole Miss, he would join us often, and he has been just as gracious with his time since he took over at Texas A&M as the director of athletics. We love having him on the show. Joining us now is Ross Bjork, who you can follow on Twitter at RossBjorkAD. Hey, Ross, how are you?
Hey, Greg, and is Eli on today too?
Yes, he is.
I'm here.
Okay. Good morning, guys. Great to be with you. It was kind of a slow summer up until July 21st. And then everything kind of popped. So I wonder why you guys had me on. Is there something to talk about today?
Isn't it funny? Because even for you guys in the summer, things slow down a little bit. Maybe you can get out there and play 18 a few times, Ross, and enjoy your time with your family. But this has not been the case for you. It has not been the case for us. It has not been the case for everybody. And, on the heels of COVID, which is still out there, but last year we know what it did. It decimated everybody's lives, and certainly college athletics was affected. But now it is the story of Texas and Oklahoma. And I have to ask you, when you first heard this story that came out, your phone must have not stopped ringing, and the emails, the text, and everything you got from fans and boosters and everybody in your life must have been nonstop.
Yeah. Well, I always use SEC Media Day as kind of a mental checkpoint. Like if I'm not ready mentally by the middle of July for the upcoming seasons, and not just football, but we got to be worried about volleyball and soccer and the academic year and getting the student athletes back in class. And obviously we still have COVID in our midst right now, so we still have to deal with those. And so I went to SEC Media Day to kind of see a bunch of people, to get out of the bunker that we've been living in for the last year and a half. And I walk in, I see Richard Cross from Oxford. I see Neil McCready. Later that afternoon, I saw our good friend Brett Norsworthy, right? Couldn't talk to him because everything had popped by then. And so I was going there to reconnect with people, had no idea this story would drop. And once it did, look, obviously I've been well indoctrinated into the Texas A&M, Texas situation, why Texas A&M left the Big 12, why we joined the SEC. And it was really to create our own identity and to have a standalone presence within the state of Texas. Obviously being in the SEC was an unbelievable move. It's paid off in so many ways. And so really when the news hit, it was like, why are we doing this? You know,
right.
we got away from them. We wanted to separate ourselves. And, you know, so once that initial sort of emotion and shock wore off, you really had to separate the what and the how. You know, we may not like how it went down, and maybe we could have had a little more communication in the process, but you really can't argue with the what. The what is, look, the SEC is a leader in college athletics. If things are changing, if the landscape is shifting, the SEC should be and will be at the forefront. And again, that's why we joined the SEC. A&M did, the leadership did 10 years ago. That's why Ole Miss enjoys being in the SEC, and Mississippi State and Tennessee and everybody within your footprint there. It's why we're here. We're a leader. So you can't really argue with the what. May not be happy that we got blindsided there at SEC Media Day. You know, those things can happen. But now we embrace it. The process is over. Hey, let's figure out scheduling. Let's figure out how to indoctrinate them. But, yeah, those 7 days after that, I think I was on the phone from about 7 a.m. till about 11 p.m. for about 7 straight days dealing with all kinds of stuff. So it's been crazy, but, hey, we're moving forward now, so it's all good.
So before that story came out there at SEC Media, you had no inkling whatsoever that this was happening?
No, not specifically, no, Eli. And look, you and Greg, you guys have known the Big 12 media rights. Everybody in college athletics, everybody who follows this, we've all known that at some point in time the Big 12 is going to have to make decisions, and that clock was ticking sooner, really, for the Big 12 than any other conference because they do have a grant of rights. It's 2025. So we've all sort of anticipated, hey, there's going to be another shift in conference realignment. But what does that look like? Who does it involve?
Yeah.
No idea that Texas and Oklahoma would link up like they did. You know, no idea how the remaining, Big 12 teams solidify their future. But we knew something could happen. But I think the timing, the question is, why now when you still had 4 years left? So I think the timing caught everybody off guard. The specifics of Oklahoma and Texas kind of joining at the hip, I think that was a little bit of a surprise. So the specifics of it, yes, but in general, no. We all knew that realignment was going to happen at some point in time here in the next 4 to 5 years.
So once it comes out and you're down there and you're on the SEC network and everywhere else and talking about the fact that, listen, like you said, we moved to kind of get away from them, to socially distance yourself, if we'll use current terms, from
right,
Texas. But so after all that happens, did Greg Sankey ever pull you aside and say hey man, we're sorry, we're blindsided you? What was it like when you first talked with Greg Sankey?
Yeah, well, obviously he was there, all week, and so he and I were able to have a one-on-one conversation. And honestly, the urgency of it and the timing of it caught him off guard as well. And so we talked about the communication process. There's an acknowledgement that, look, Texas A&M has a different dynamic than the other 13 institutions as it relates to this type of move. And so, look, we acknowledge the communication. He understood it. Again, he was surprised the news was breaking when it did. But again, general sense of realignment, of course. He had been reached out to. That was an acknowledgement. He did it the right way. But our situation was just so unique that, hey, we wish we would have had a little more heads up that maybe this thing was happening faster. But again, I don't think the end of the decision-making would have been any different, because you have to embrace this, again, as college athletics continues to evolve.
Well, now that those moves have happened, most people believe that there will be more moves. There has to be more moves. Obviously, the Big 12 is trying to figure out what direction they're going in. Who knows if some of those individual schools will be looking to go somewhere else. What are your expectations? And I'm just asking for your opinion here as to what will happen. And also, do you believe that before the grant of rights expires, with Texas, Oklahoma, and the Big 12. Do you believe that, as most people do, that Texas and Oklahoma will be in the SEC competing a lot earlier than 2025?
Greg, the only thing that I'm aware of is they have a contract, and it's up to them to negotiate their way out of that sooner, perhaps depending on what the rest of the Big 12 does. So from our perspective, 2025 is when they enter the SEC. If it happens sooner, then that's because they were able to negotiate an exit. So that ball's kind of in their court. Our mindset is whenever they come in, we'll have schedules, we'll be ready. So we're not quite sure when that all might happen. As far as the rest of college athletics, I think what we have to do is we need all of our leaders to just get at the table. The NCAA has set this constitutional convention process where they're forming a committee. The Board of Governors are going to do. We need to consolidate more. Does that make sense? So I think there has to be this next step of this constitutional convention. Then I think the conferences all need to get together and say, okay, what's best for the future of college athletics? What that looks like, mergers, consolidation. People keep talking about super conferences. I don't think anyone has a grand plan that says, okay, this is what's going to happen, and this group will lead it, or this person will lead it. I think there's a lot of fluid situations, and until we get through the fall, until we see how the Alston case has an impact on the finances, until we see some other things happen, federal law around name, image, likeness, that's a fluid situation. Do we get a federal law? I hope we do, because we need some uniformity. Does the NCAA reconstitute itself where it's only championship related and the governance piece goes back to the conferences? There are so many things on the table right now that are possibilities that for anyone to say, hey, I know exactly what's going to happen, that's just a fool's errand right now because it's so fluid in our space.
You weren't there,
so
obviously.
Did I confuse you even more about what the possibilities are?
Actually, I followed that very well, and I actually agree with that. Yeah, there's so much out there, but I think we all can agree that the landscape of college athletics has changed.
No doubt about it. It's changing before our eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
You weren't at A&M when it happened, but when you mentioned when they joined the SEC 10 years ago, what at that point were they under a grant of rights contract? Like were they able to join the SEC? Because I'm pretty sure that happened very quickly after they committed. They were able to get right into the conference.
Yeah, at that point in time, Eli, there was no grant of rights in the Big 12.
Okay.
At that point in time.
Okay.
That's right. So it was a much more sort of smoother pathway in that transition period.
Okay.
And Missouri was in the same boat. Missouri was in the same boat, obviously.
Right.
For scheduling purposes, what would you like to see? We've heard there's been the pod system. There's just going, two divisions, East-West still, with moving some teams around to make it work. I know a lot of folks have come out and talked about the fact that they would like to see more variety in opponents coming into town more often. What would you like to see as this happens as far as scheduling goes?
Yeah, I think I'm more sort of on the, hey, let's set some principles of what we would like to achieve. And I think what you hit on, Eli, is maybe the first principle is variety. And what I think variety does, I do believe you need to maintain some traditional rivalry games as sort of permanent opponents. But then after that, I think you have to go to variety, because what variety will help you with is college football playoff access. And we all assume that we're going to go to 12 teams at some point in time. So how do you set yourself up for the playoff? How do you continue to attract TV eyeballs? Because it's not so much households anymore. It's how do you attract people to actually watch the games?
Right.
And then how do you get people to come to your games? And so I think variety and rotations would lead to all three of those things. Fan attendance in your stadium, watching TV, eyeballs, and college football playoff access. To me, that's what we have to get to. So if that's divisions, pods, whatever you want to call it, let's get to a point where we drive the variety piece, because then I think it leads to those other elements, which in today's changing landscape, to me, you have to achieve those things: playoff access, fan attendance, and people need to watch your game. So I want to get to that point. We'll have a lot of discussions. Part of it depends on when will they come in, to your point earlier. So a lot of that will layer into it, but I think we have to get around the table, create the principles, create the objectives, and then I think you can start looking at formats.
You mentioned the 12-team playoff, which was a big topic over the summer, and the thought now from a lot of people, especially in my industry, is that because that news came out, and it came out prematurely about Oklahoma, Texas, and obviously now they are members of the league, that it will delay the process of adding those 8 other playoff teams and making it a 12-team playoff. Do you believe now there will be a delay in the institution of a 12-team playoff?
You know, look, the contract goes through the 2025 regular season. So if we have to wait another 4 years, I think we can manage that. I do believe eventually it's going to expand. I think maybe some of the rhetoric, obviously that's some emotional pieces, but I don't see how people can turn down access, because that's what the expansion was all about, was access. So access will continue to be a priority. And then obviously the money. So I don't see how universities could be upset with the SEC and then also say, yeah, but we still want access and we still want money.
Right.
Because the only way to get those things is you expand the playoffs. So I think cooler heads will prevail. I think we can all get to the table as leaders in college athletics and figure out the playoff expansion.
Wait, do we got to play the breaking news sounder? Are you saying money is important? Is that what you're saying, Ross? I want to make sure that's clear.
Yeah. If people haven't realized that in college athletics, and it's okay. Look, it's okay to admit it. Like, we need resources to pay coaches, to fund scholarships, to fund whatever the new structure of student-athlete support is going to look like, however that comes into play moving forward. We know that we need to give more money to the student-athletes. And so, look, it's going to take resources. So if that's one way to do it, then, yeah, money is important.
Next thing you're going to tell me is that ESPN actually has a lot of control in college athletics. And we all know that would be crazy.
Don't go there. Come
on, that would be just ridiculous.
A lot of conspiracies there, right?
What have ticket sales been like for you guys for football coming out of COVID now? Obviously, you've got a massive stadium. What has it been like as we look forward to this new season?
Yeah. We're trending ahead of our 2019 sales. So you really can't compare 2020 to anything.
Yeah.
So if we compare it to 2019, we're trending ahead. So our general public sales are ahead. Our student tickets, we ended up selling out of student tickets in 2019. And here at A&M, we can sell 34,000 student season tickets. But
Jeez.
People are buying those. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. But we're way ahead of the pace of 2019. So we expect, if you include students, we expect to be in the 85 to 87,000 season ticket range, and we seat 102,000. So the feeling that I get is, I know we have to still deal with COVID and we all need to be safe, but the feeling I get is people are ready. People are ready to come back out, tailgate, come into stadiums, be in person, see their friends, hang out with people they maybe not have hung out with for over a year and a half. So that's the sense we're getting, is that it's going to be a ton of excitement. And then obviously we expect to have a great team, preseason top 10. So you combine those two things, and I think it's going to be electric atmospheres all year long.
Yeah, you beat me to the punch. A final question for you about the team itself. No wonder there's excitement. First of all, there's always excitement for Texas A&M football. It's always well supported. But despite the obstacles for everybody last season, it was a great season for the Aggies football team. And Jimbo has that team playing where everybody thought they would be when he took over. So I'm sure the excitement is there, and the sky's the limit for you guys.
We believe so. Obviously, got some new pieces, right? Got to figure out a new quarterback. We got some new offensive linemen that have to break their way in. But I think in terms of overall depth and talent, maybe not have the experience of the guys that we lost from the team last year. But as far as talent and depth, I mean, this is maybe the best team that A&M really has ever had. So got to get through the gauntlet of the SEC West. Got a tough road game at Colorado in the altitude. Obviously, got to go to Ole Miss there. That won't be fun for me probably going back there. But Missouri's a tough road game. Obviously at LSU, but the culture and the mindset. I was with the team yesterday, and these guys are locked in. So what that means, we don't know yet. But as far as culture and mindset and talent, and just having the expectations at a high level, Jimbo's done it. And now we just need to keep delivering, and that's the expectation here. It's going to be fun.
Last season it was sometimes having to pencil in an opponent 48 hours before a team played that opponent. This year, a lot different. We still are in the midst of COVID, but things seem to be back more towards normalcy, and I can't wait. I know you can't wait, Ross, as well. The football season is just about upon us. It's always great to catch up with you, and we always appreciate you spending some time with us. I know you don't have to do that, Ross, but you've been a good friend, and we thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Good to reconnect with everyone. I appreciate you having me on. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, Ross. Okay, sounds great. Ross Bjork, the Director of Athletics at Texas A&M. You can follow him on Twitter at Ross Bjork AD.
This side of the program is brought to you by Action 24/7, the local sports book in the state of Tennessee. Tonight we got some Olympic basketball. The U.S. will be going for the gold as they take on France. The U.S. a 12.5-point favorite against France, who beat the U.S. in the opener of these Olympic Games, but the U.S. favored by 12.5 in the gold medal game tonight. The U.S. women have also advanced to the gold medal game. They will play Japan tomorrow night. The U.S. women a 17.5-point favorite in that game as they look for their another gold medal, their 7th straight gold. You can bet on those at Action 24/7. You could bet on the FedEx St. Jude class or FedEx St. Jude Invitational on there. Just looking at the current odds, Harris English currently at plus 230. If you want to bet him right now, Ian Poulter, who has moved to 7 under par, 2 shots off the lead, you could get Ian Poulter still right now at plus 1,400. So 14-1 on a guy who's just 2 shots out of the lead here in the second round of the FedEx St. Jude Invitational. You can bet on everything. They're on Action 24/7. And make sure when you sign up with your initial deposit, you use the promo code WHBQ100, all capitals on the WHBQ. They'll match your first deposit 100% up to $400. That is Action 24/7.
I'll take the over with the women. I'll take the under with the men, although I believe the men will win gold against France. So I'm going over with the women, going under the number with the men.
You're taking France.
Yeah, France and the points.
It's not an over-under.
Well, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I'm taking the points in France, but I think the USA will win gold with the men. The women will rout Japan, so I would lay the 17.5 or whatever that number was you just had. We are winding down here in hour number 1. One segment still to go. A lot of the great golfers have hit the fairways and greens and tee boxes here at TPC Southwind, but still a number of players yet to tee off.
Some of them have hit the water.
Well, unfortunately, TPC Southwind is way up there, right? Are they number 1 as far as water balls?
Yes, they dominate that statistic.
Yeah, I knew they were 1 or 2, so yeah, that's going to happen.
Of course, it may not be as now. They may not. I don't know
because the numbers of players.
Since you only have 60-some players here versus a full field. But when it was a full field event, it used to win that thing by there was nobody even close. I think Sawgrass is number 2, but it was way behind this place.
We'll update the leaderboard for you here at the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational when we return. Plus, a pretty wild story out of Arizona State. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Dave Woloshin and Brett Norsworthy take you home with Sports Time on Sports 56, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Acura of Memphis invites you to experience the all-new, completely redesigned 2022 Acura MDX. It's the most advanced SUV Acura has ever built. Experience the convenience of full connectivity, including built-in Alexa, Wi-Fi hotspot, and wireless charging. From the stunning interior, complete with third-row seating. Stop by our state-of-the-art facility and take advantage of our aggressive APR offers today at Ridgeway and 385. Or shop online from the convenience of home now. Visit AcuraMemphis.com. Looking for a high-efficiency planting solution? The Case IH 2150 Early Riser Planter combines the industry's most accurate planter technologies with a rugged row unit for a fast and uniform emergence. The Case IH 2150 Early Riser operates at your speed and adapts to unique field conditions so that you can maximize your yield potential. Stop in or call Mid-South Ag Equipment at 662-890-3141 to learn more. That's Mid-South Ag, your Case IH Equipment headquarters.
The Tigers are back to 100% capacity. We want you to be a part of it. Your Tiger football team opens the season against Nicholls State Saturday, September 4th at 6. And the rest of the schedule features SEC opponent Mississippi State, Navy, SMU, and more. Season tickets for all 7 home games start at just $99. To lock in your seats for all the action, call 901-678-2331 or visit GoTigersGoTix.com.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Like a coin in your mint, I am dented.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour is brought to you by Action247.com. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Take me to the pilot for control. Take me to the pilot of your soul. Take me
It
to
was
the
a rough first round for the trio of Brooks Koepka, Jordan Spieth, and Rory McIlroy. The three will be hitting the tee box at number 1 in just 3 minutes. They'll be teeing off to get their second round started. Brooks Koepka, Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy. They'll be followed by Daniel Berger, Tommy Fleetwood, Mark Leishman, again from the first tee at 11:05. Harris English has birdied hole number 14. He's playing the back first. He is 2 under on his round today after shooting a 62 yesterday, and now in double digits. English at 10. Ian Poulter is 2 under through 4 today. He's up to 8. Sam Burns is 2 under through 3. He's up to 6. Again, the scores are really low. This is a tough course, but the conditions are so right for these guys, as good as they are, to go low. I don't like to see them go really, really low, but Eli, by the time this day's over, the way English is going, other guys are on his tail, you're looking at maybe 14, 15 under to be the leader at the halfway point.
Well, if Harris English plays the front 9 like he did yesterday, he might get to like 18 under. So, but that's almost impossible to do. But he is he's making every putt that he looks at. It seems like it's going in. And he's also hitting it very close and giving himself very makeable putts. But, boy, he has putted ridiculously well and just got it locked in. He's a guy that likes this golf course an awful lot, and he is showing it over the first day and, almost day and a half now.
Yeah, he is a calm, cool customer. Just not a lot of emotions shown out there on the course. Like you said, he loves this course. He's won here before. This is a guy I expect to win a major sooner than later. I know the competition out there is stiff, but he is putting like a crazy man today and getting to the point on the greens with his approaches to be able to have 8, 9, 10 footers as opposed to 25, 30 footers, and he's knocking them all home. All right, so I teased this story going to our last time out. Arizona State has announced that unvaccinated players will be not allowed to travel with the football team. And immediately, their punter, Michael Turk, entered the portal, the transfer portal. Not sure how many players are unvaccinated, but they have made a stand. They are the first school that I know of that has made that stand. But what's interesting is, of course, Arizona State is the same school that is in trouble for violating the COVID-19 rules on recruiting. So it's pretty hypocritical what's going on at Arizona State, but it is what it is. I'm not sure if this will become a trend around the country with other schools.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so, but I wouldn't be surprised if some others maybe go that route as another kind of encouragement, for lack of a better term, for guys to get vaccinated. But that's a pretty drastic measure.
I like the term you used for encouragement. It's also can be looked at as pressure. They can't go as far as mandating it, but whether you look at it as encouragement or pressure, I think not only in sports, but in all walks of life, I think it's been obviously everybody didn't come together to decide to do this, but I think it's vaccinated versus unvaccinated. It's becoming now where the vaccinated are tired of what's going on because they've done their part and are putting the pressure on the unvaccinated, and that means leaving them out in certain things, has stringent rules and regulations compared to those who are vaccinated. And Arizona State, again, but the story to me is that Arizona State being very hypocritical for what they did when they had recruits in when they weren't allowed to during that COVID-19 dead period. And now turning around and saying, hey, listen, if you didn't get vaccinated, then you can't travel with the team. What they're saying and what they're doing now, I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying it's a little hypocritical from where they were earlier this summer.
You vaccinate to win the game.
Very nice. Our friend Rachel Heck into the quarterfinals at the U.S. Women's Amateur. Not sure what time she's on the course today, but she had to rally to win, and she won in 19 holes to move into the quarterfinals. She's looking to become just the second golfer in history to win the NCAA individual and the U.S. Am in the same year. So we certainly wish Rachel the best of luck. When we come back, hour number 2 of the program, we'll talk some Grizzlies because today, again, is a big day in the NBA. Trades can be announced, free agency signings.
3 minutes.
Wheelings and dealings. 3 minutes, the clock.
Free agents deals can start being signed in 3 minutes.
So we'll see how quickly also the Grizzlies' official announcement of the trade and the specific details, although I think we got a pretty good grasp of what they did, but when they come down officially. So we'll get into that. We'll have Brian Moss at 11:30 as the Tigers football team will open up training camp today. We'll get his thoughts on the big stories of training camp. Of course, the number one story, I believe, is the quarterback battle. And then in our final hour at 12:05, we'll have 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. A question about golf. I think it's a pretty easy question for those who know golf. And then at 12:30 or thereabouts, Sean McKeel is expected to join us from right here at the Hub, the 2003 PGA champion. Do you want to tell you about Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs? Call my friend Brandon McCullough at 901-438-5084 or check them out online at newroofmemphis.com. They offer financing, many different plans and options to choose from, including a 6, 12, or 18-month same-as-cash option. They'll work with your insurance company. They'll work out of pocket, whatever it takes. Pinnacle does both residential and commercial roofing, so business owners, property managers, along with homeowners, if you have a leak or any other problem with your roof, call Brandon today. They'll come out and do a free roof inspection. They are licensed, bonded, and insured and a member of the Better Business Bureau. You get a 5-year labor warranty on the purchase of a new roof, and all their work is satisfaction guaranteed. Carpentry work, exterior painting, they can replace gutters, install shingles. In fact, Brandon's a certified shingle installer. Put up fencing, siding, rotten wood repair. If you can't do it yourself, call the experts at Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. Quality work at a very good price. It's Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. Again, call Brandon McCullough at 901-438-5084 or check them out online at newroofmemphis.com. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Magic in Memphis. Excellence delivered. Where the world comes to showdown. To be the king of Grind City. Today's stars, tomorrow's legends. Taking care of business. Compete to conquer the world. Don't miss the World Golf Championships FedEx St. Jude Invitational. August 5th through 8th. For more information, visit WGCFedEx.com.
Visit Frontier Western Store this summer to check out tons of new products. Frontier added so many new items in their women's boutique. There are daily arrivals with thousands of on-trend tops, jeans, and pants in stock at amazing prices. And guys, Frontier's your #1 Carhartt store. There's no one around with a larger selection of everyday fits and workwear. Wrangler and Ariat clothing also available. Frontier recently remodeled their entire store and expanded the world-famous boot showroom. Now there are even more dress and work boots in stock. After Ariat boots, then you've got to check out Frontier. There are over 1,000 pair of Ariat boots alone, and thousands more in other brands such as Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, and Twisted X. As if the selection isn't reason enough, there's Frontier's low prices. Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so when you're ready for your next pair, you know right where to come. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Can I get serious with you for just a minute? When you shop at the Great American Home Store this week, you'll find incredible pricing on quality-built furniture that's built to last and give you years of use and enjoyment. But if you notice that so many things these days just seem to be disposable, but your furniture shouldn't be, right? And yet at the same time, we understand you may not want to keep a sofa around for 20 years. So we search for and find quality-built pieces made to last and keep the cost at, well, what other stores sell lesser quality for. Come in and compare, and we know you'll agree that at the Great American Home Store, you get the look for a lot less with quality. We have the Mid-South's largest selection of sofas in every style you can imagine, dining rooms from formal to casual. We have bar stools, bedrooms in the latest styles, and the top brand mattress sets from Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. So with great pricing and no interest financing, this is a great time to save. Seriously. But hurry, an offer like this can't last forever at the Great American Home Store.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
We welcome you back to the show. Hour number 2 here on Sports 56 Middays, the Friday, August 6th, 2021 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, on location at TPC Southland, round 2 of the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational. Gabe Kuhn is producing the program from the Family Leisure Studios, where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Winton Road. That's just north of I-40. I neglected to mention in hour number 1, of course, I hope you know it by now, but the AutoZone phone lines, text line, always available to you. It's the same number, 901-360-8255. We love hearing from you, whether it's a text or a phone call. Again, 901-360-8255 for the AutoZone phone line or text line. Second hour of the program, as Mr. Announcer Man said, is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. And every Monday and Friday, they bring you the Memphis Sports Fact. Did you know Harris English's 8 under par 62 yesterday was one shot off the TPC Southwind course record of 61. Jay Delsing shot a 61 back in 1993 before they revamped the course. Bob Estes in 2001. By the way, Estes won the tournament. Delsing finished in a tie for 8th. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar, between Mendenhall and St. Elmo, on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. You can call them at 901-767-9648. They are your bridal, engagement, and anniversary jeweler headquarters. Go see James Linda and the gang at James Gaddis Jewelers.
Thank you to all of our great sponsors of our coverage out here and broadcasting live from TPC Southwind for the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational. They are Family Leisure, Gateway Tire, Automatic Air, Guns and Ammo, Coletta's, Napa Auto Parts, TJ Mulligan's, Great American Home Store, Jason's Deli, Ronnie Grisanti's, Belly Acres, and Golf Sticks Pretzels. A couple of texts here on the AutoZone text line. John says he shot a 62 once, but that was on the front 9. 62 on this golf course, I'm telling you, is stupid good. I don't care.
Especially
I don't
since
care
they
if the
revamped
conditions
it.
are perfect. Or
Right.
what. 62 out here is really, really, really good. Got another text here. Says, Google says the PGA does not require vaccinations to participate. I assume they could require that if they wanted to, so why aren't they? Well, I mean, these players are all independent contractors. I mean, I guess theoretically the PGA Tour could say that, but I don't. I mean, they don't want to.
They're members of the PGA Tour, all these players, but they are independent contractors. So, and many of them from different countries. And I think they're. I bet they probably could if they wanted to.
They don't want. I mean, they want their guys to get vaccinated, but I don't think they want to go that far and have some guys who
backlash.
Well, they just lose some people in the field that they would like to have in the field, some big names.
There's probably some of that. No question about it. By the way, when I mentioned that Arizona State story, and I told you the punter hit the transfer portal, when I heard the name Turk, I go, yeah, I think I remember this guy. 2020 first team All Pac-12 selection and a 2019 Ray Guy Award semifinalist. Now, if you are going into the portal because of this reason, do you think that gives you the ability to transfer right in if you've already used your one-time transfer? I'm not sure if he has or not.
Well, he's past the deadline for the one-time transfer anyway, so
okay,
he's going to have to get a waiver.
He'd have to get a waiver. Do you think he would be granted a waiver?
Yes, because the NCAA hands out waivers like it's nothing.
But this is a very unique waiver. You're saying, hey, I'm unvaccinated. I don't plan to be vaccinated, and I want to go somewhere else. First of all, I
hope he doesn't infect other people in the portal.
How close are they in the portal? We don't know.
It's crowded.
There's a lot of
people.
A lot of people in the portal. But would there be any intrepidation by a school to bring in a guy who doesn't want to be vaccinated when you're trying to get the numbers as close to 100% as you can, especially when it's a guy who's been very vocal about it, but he's a Ray Guy Award semifinalist. He's a really good punter.
I would assume there will be some schools that, will say, no, we don't want him. I mean, after all, he is just a punter. I don't care if he's a good one or not. He is just a punter. So,
don't you downgrade a punter now?
I will downgrade punters. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there will be some that would say no. Others that won't have a problem with it.
Special teams wins ball games, Eli. Don't you downgrade my punters and my kickers.
See, I knew Gabe was going to have my back on this one.
Kickers, I'm okay with. Punters,
there's three phases. There's 3 phases. You have offense, defense, and special teams. You can't discount it.
Special teams is kicking field goals.
A good punter changes the game.
These coaches don't even want to punt. They shouldn't punt as much
don't.
as they
Nobody
do.
wants
but
to
no,
punt.
I'd go for it a lot more.
But when you punt, you better be sure you have a good punter.
Very interesting thought to transfer away from a school. Everybody wants you to be vaccinated if you're coming into their program right now. Because you're putting yourself up to forfeit in some conferences. So it's very interesting that he's going about it this way.
Yeah, could you imagine, Gabe, that you're telling, well, you're not forcing anybody, but you're hoping and probably encouraging your kids, your players, to get the vaccination if they haven't done so already. And yet, what kind of a message does it send if you bring in somebody who's unvaccinated and plans to stay unvaccinated?
My thing would be this. If he was a Heisman finalist quarterback, everybody would be okay with it. When you're just a punter, there are going to be a lot more that say no. I don't care if you're the good punter.
I think that's fair.
I know Pete.
I mean, they're going to make different rules for different positions. A punter, they're going to. Do we really care about a punter enough to do this?
I know Pete Lembo isn't with Memphis anymore, but man, oh man, was he one of the best in the country with his special teams, and part of that was punting. So I'm with Gabe. I mean, don't downplay the punter. Coming up in 10 minutes, or a little bit less than that now, we'll get a Summer Games update for you. Of course, it wraps up this weekend in Tokyo. It's winding down. We'll get an update from Westwood 1 at 11:20. Brian Moss will join us at 11:30 to talk Tigers football as camp does open this afternoon at the University of Memphis. And today is also a big day in the NBA because, again, it's now official and all the trades and free agency signings and everything can be announced. So we'll get the details from the Grizzlies, I'm sure, soon, of the trade that took place, the Jonas Valanciunas trade. There is some other news, no big deal here, but BasketNews.com is reporting that the Grizzlies are interested in Kevin Pangos, who's been playing in the EuroLeague. I don't believe the Grizzlies will sign anyone, but I still believe that an Eric Bledsoe trade is in the making for sometime this year. It may not happen during the offseason. It may happen actually during the season. But the question is, would they cut him and eat that contract? I can't imagine they would, because he's a valuable asset with $3 million next year. I know it's, $18 million this year. But Eric Bledsoe, I think, can still play some basketball. And is there a team out there willing to give the Grizzlies something in return so they'll have an asset or two? My guess is that they probably will have something out there.
Well, the $3 million next year is if you buy if you cut him. If he's on your team next year, he's still another $18-19 million. But I have heard that it is not completely out of the question that Eric Bledsoe would play for the Grizzlies this year. That it is not a thing of, it's not an absolute that if they don't trade him, that they will buy him out.
Yeah.
Now it still very well could happen, but it is not. From what I understand, it is not as if Eric Bledsoe has said, I absolutely am not going to play for you guys, so either trade me or cut me.
This isn't an Andre Iguodala situation.
No. Which Andre Iguodala, by the way, going back to the Warriors, that deal reported just a little bit ago. So he will be back in Golden State. Former Grizzly great Andre Iguodala, one of the great Grizzly careers of all time, really, when you think back to it.
Well, he was outstanding in that one game, and then that other game. And no, that's right. He didn't play any games.
But so I don't know what will happen with Bledsoe. They're certainly going to look to move him, I believe. But I have heard it is not an absolute that he will just that he is not, from what I understand, refusing to play in Memphis.
Well, let's be honest. When the trade took place, there was a report, and I forget what national journalist reported it. I don't think it was Woj or Shams, but they came out and quickly said that Bledsoe will not play for the Grizzlies. And I don't know from what point of view that came, whether it was Bledsoe's just not going to play for the Grizzlies or the Grizzlies have no plans for Bledsoe. So we took it to heart, I believe. That's the only thing I've ever seen on Eric Bledsoe. And I thought right away, of course, everything was coming in fast and furious with all the moves that were being made. And I thought, okay, well, that makes sense that they'll try to flip Eric Bledsoe. But then I thought to myself, even though he didn't have a good year in New Orleans, I still think he has – it's not like he's old. He still has a lot left in the tank. So why wouldn't you look to upgrade? Would Eric Bledsoe be an upgrade at backup point guard over Tyus Jones and look to deal Tyus Jones? Obviously,
yeah, he would be, but
the money you're bringing in, though.
But I don't know if you want to pay your backup point guard $18 million.
But again, you would only have to do it for 1 year, and then next year he becomes a really good asset trade-wise. Like use him for the 1 year, and then he becomes the asset next year. Whereas that would defeat the purpose of, again, I can't remember the national columnist who had, or national journalist who said that
there may not be somebody
who
wants to pay him $19 million next year. I mean, it's an expiring deal, but
that's an asset, an expiring deal. This year it's not expiring. So I don't know. I haven't heard anything other than what I read about Bledsoe. But I would still not be surprised if he's dealt here before the season. And I would be surprised if they carried all three of them. So in other words, if you can't deal Bledsoe, do you deal Tyus Jones? Because I can't see one of those guys just being 14th or 15th guy on the bench. Tyus Jones is a very capable backup point guard, but I remember during the season last year, people were ripping him a bit, and that they have to get a better backup point guard. And I thought Tyus Jones has done a really nice job for the Grizzlies.
I think for what you pay him, he's perfectly fine in that role. Could you upgrade? Yeah, that would be great. But I don't think. I mean, Ja is going to play 35 minutes a night, so you don't need your backup point guard that much, honestly. And heck, in the playoffs, Ja was up to 40 minutes a game. I mean, they were basically Tyus was getting 7-8 minutes a game. So in that role, I think Tyus is just fine.
Yeah, and they played at times, not a lot, but they did play Tyus alongside Ja a few times just to experiment with that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening with Bledsoe. Obviously, there's still nothing confirmed on Steven Adams, but I would have to think that Steven Adams is, your replacement for Jonas Valanciunas, and he just is plugged in at that position, that they're not looking to flip him. But the trade, again, will be officially announced today, as will all trades, free agency signings, and things that we've heard a lot about over the last week or so. This has nothing to do with sports, but some breaking news with the Shelby County Health Department. Today, the Health Department issued an amended health order number 24 that calls for universal masking in all K through 12 schools, so kindergarten through 12th grade, preschools, and daycare centers for teachers, staff, students, and visitors, regardless of vaccination status. The amended health order is in alignment with recently released guidance from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention that recommends that all persons, including those who are fully vaccinated, wear masks in indoor public settings in areas such Shelby County where COVID-19 transmission is high. So there you go. As we continue to fight this dreaded pandemic, which has seemingly turned again for the worse, mandating those masks. I did not think we were getting to that point.
We are out here, of course, at the World Golf Championship, FedEx St. Jude Invitational. A lot of folks out here. Probably when you're out here watching, you might start thinking about playing some golf. Well, if you're going to play some golf, you know the place to go. That would be Edwin Watts. Whatever you need for your golf game, they've got it for you. Whether it just be balls or gloves, to apparel, to new clubs, or maybe club repair or training aids, anything that you need. They've got it all at Edwin Watts. And we talked with Jay the other day, so we're getting close to that time of year where they start getting the new makes and new models of things in from the different club makers, so be watching out for that. But again, you can go on in there, you can try out clubs, see which one you like the best in their hitting bay. You can get fitted for clubs right there in the store at Edwin Watts. They're the Ridgeway Trace Shopping Center. That's on Poplar between Ridgeway and 240 for all your golf supply needs. Go see them at Edwin Watts.
And it's now time for a Summer Games update from our friends at Westwood One.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2020 Summer Games, sponsored by Charmin. We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin? Carl Lewis now has a partner, a fellow winner of 10 career Olympic medals in track and field. Allison Felix won the bronze in the 400 meters. Also a bronze for American Paul Chelino in the men's 5,000 meters. He won silver in Rio. U.S. women won silver in the 400-meter relay. The greatest U.S. wrestler ever was likely Dan Gable in the 1972 Olympics. He won the gold medal, never lost a single point. 49 years later, a wrestling gold medal for American Gable Steveson, who was named after Dan Gable. He won his match with a takedown right at the end. That's the 31st U.S. gold of the Games. The 30th came in beach volleyball on the team of April Ross and Alex Kleinman. Ross in the previous two Olympics had won silver and bronze, so the 39-year-old with 3 different medals in 3 different Olympics with 3 different partners. With this Summer Games update, John Stashower, Westwood One Sports.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
I love my Charmin Super Mega Golden Rolls, yeah. Goals last long, it's TP Goals, yeah. Charmin's got 6 rolls in one, lasts forever on my buns. Only Super Mega when I'm cleaning. Charmin's got my booty believing.
Charmin Super Mega Roll is 6 regular rolls in one. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
How cool is this? We're flying!
I heard Only Murders in the Building was out on Hulu, and the next thing I knew, I was magically flying home to watch it! Why are you flying?
Gonna watch the new season of Wu-Tang and American Saga.
Woo!
Please note, Hulu Originals, while awesome and unmissable, will not make you fly. Sure, seeing new hits like 9 Perfect Strangers may make you feel like you're flying. This in no way infers magical powers of flight. That would be crazy, like not having Hulu. When you have to watch, you have to watch. Hulu subscription required. Visit hulu.com for plan details.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world at sports56whbq.com or on the Sports 56 app.
Need to sell your home? You're in luck because I buy houses. All you have to do is call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that PIN, 901-406-1101, or just save it in your phone. Bill at I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses buys houses in any area, in any condition, at any time. As simple as that. I Buy Houses is guaranteed to close in 5 days. So if you need your cash fast, Just call Bill at I Buy Houses 901-406-1101. Has your house been on the market? Were you just tired of renters? Or is it just time to start over? Well, avoid repairing, cleaning, painting, and prepping your house. Just pick up the phone and call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses. If you're in Southwind, South Memphis, North Mississippi, North Memphis, Collierville, if you can hear this, just call my friend, Bill at I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies. We will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Fiveash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Fiveash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing is what we do. We're here for you.
I want to do some bragging rights. Hey, I was just the other day overhearing a conversation with Big Mike, the manager of DeSoto Auto Sales. They've got people buying cars all over the country. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. People from all over the country buy cars at DeSoto Auto Sales in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Why? DeSoto Auto Sales has the most stringent car inspection in America. They get it right the first time. Quality and low mileage, factory warranty on most vehicles. My favorite part is the people who work there. Big Mike, all the employees are professional, friendly, and go that extra mile. Expect as you walk in the door, you're treated like family. DeSoto Auto Sales understands your time matters. We can help you find your dream car and get all the paperwork finished in less than an hour. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales and be part of our family. Have a great buying experience every time. 662-890-7184.
Can I get serious with you for just a minute? When you shop at the Great American Home Store this week, you'll find incredible pricing on quality-built furniture that's built to last and give you years of use and enjoyment. But if you notice that so many things these days just seem to be disposable, but your furniture shouldn't be, right? And yet at the same time, we understand you may not want to keep a sofa around for 20 years. So we search for and find quality-built pieces made to last and keep the cost at, well, what other stores sell lesser quality for. Come in and compare, and we know you'll agree that at the Great American Home Store, you get the look for a lot less with quality. We have the Mid-South's largest selection of sofas in every style you can imagine, dining rooms from formal to casual. We have bar stools, bedrooms in the latest styles, and the top brand mattress sets from Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. So with great pricing and no interest financing, this is a great time to save. Seriously. But hurry, an offer like this can't last forever at the Great American Home Store.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
The Pronto Pups are starting to be devoured here inside the hub. Do you think I'm the last of the Mohicans? I'm the last one not to have ever tried a Pronto Pup? You think there's others like
You've
me
never
out
even
there?
tried one?
No.
You might be. You might be the last.
Have you had yours yet for the week? You said you're going to have one.
I've not had one yet. No, but I will. We at some point I will. I almost had one yesterday, but I decided not to.
The weather's starting to get a little muggier out there, but again, it's overcast. We have Harris English, the leader, now playing 17. He's playing the back first today, so he'll be headed our way. It's like a comet. We're waiting for him to come around. He'll be here on 18 before too long. We're located inside the hub, which is just off the 18th fairway. So if you're planning on coming out here to TPC Southwind, please come by, say hello. John Harden will be up after us from 1 to 3, then Wolo and Stats. But English at 11 under is your leader. 3 under through 7 so far today, again, through his first 7 holes. Ian Poulter, 3 under through his first 6 today, and Ian Poulter is now at 9 under par. Jim Herman, an early birdie. Matthew Wolf as a birdie. They're both at 7. Will Zalatoris, 2 under through 9, who's skinnier than a pronto pup. He's 6 under. Sam Burns, Cameron Smith is red hot. He's 3 under. He's 6 under for the tournament.
He just hold out for eagle from the bunker on 3.
So he's 8 under now?
No,
oh, that got him to 6. Okay. Mark Leishman at 6. Max Hope. Phil Mickelson is 4 under through 4. He is 5 now. Colin Morikawa is coming up. He's at 4. Patrick Reed, your boy, 2 under on his round. He's at 4 under par. Again, low scores because the conditions are so conducive into shooting low scores, despite this being an extremely difficult course. It is a shot maker's course, and if you can putt, you're going to score. And that's what's happening to a lot of golfers out there right now. Heck, they're the best in the world. Harris English by 2.
I've got a couple pair of tickets for tomorrow that going to be giving away today. So stay tuned for that. We'll give you an opportunity to win if you want to get a pair of tickets to come out and see the action tomorrow here at TPC Southwind. Got a couple of pair of tickets that we'll be giving away.
So we have the golf. We have the Jalen Dern decision coming up later and some decisions that will be made that could go the Tigers' way and be huge. And we also have the Memphis Tigers football team opening up camp today. This afternoon will be practice number 1 for Ryan Silverfield's team. And a guy who has his finger on the pulse of Memphis Tigers football is our good friend Brian Moss. He's the publisher of TigerSportsReport.com, which is part of the Rivals and Yahoo Sports Network, covering the University of Memphis. You can follow him on Twitter at RivalsBMoss. Hey, Brian, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
No problem. Glad to be here. Doing all right. How about you guys?
We're doing great. We were talking earlier this week when the American Conference Media Days took place, and the poll came out, the preseason poll, where the Tigers were selected 5th. 1, did you have a vote, and where did you place them if you did? Number 2, what is your opinion about them being number 5 in the preseason poll?
Yeah, I did have a vote. I had Memphis 3rd behind Cincinnati and Central Florida. Not too surprised that they were picked 5th. You know, that the AAC media doesn't, think too highly, I guess, of Memphis a lot of times. I can understand you're replacing a quarterback, but so some other teams that are ahead of Memphis. So it'll be interesting, but I think it's billboard material for the Memphis players. That they'll, of course, they say the right things. It does preseason. Polls doesn't matter, but it still bugs them a little bit.
You talk about the thing, and when we talk about it, SMU was the one that surprised me because they are also replacing a really good quarterback as well. So that was the one that I could understand maybe Houston being ahead of them with their returning quarterback, but SMU to me was the surprise to be ahead of them in that poll.
Yeah, and maybe it's going on. They feel more confident with the SMU coaching staff than the Memphis coaching staff, but when you take a look at the the preseason polls where Memphis has been in previous years, Memphis tends to get slighted more often than not. So that's why I wasn't too surprised. But we'll see. I mean, they've been wrong before, and I have a feeling they'll be wrong again this year.
Well, speaking of replacing a quarterback, Brady White had a absolutely outstanding career at the University of Memphis, and now you wonder who's going to take that baton and run with it, and hopefully not screw it up like the United States relay team. But will it be the guy who everybody expects it to be, Grant Cannell, or will it be somebody else coming out of camp as the starter? 4 guys are literally in a battle for the starting job. What are your expectations, Brian?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun battle to watch, and just my personal opinion. I know the coaches say the right thing, that, it's an open battle. everyone has a chance. All the quarterbacks, they do some good things. You need to improve on some things. But in my opinion, it's Grant Gunnell's job to lose. I mean, when you watch him play, he's not Paxton Lynch, but he just kind of reminds me of that type of player. Tall, 6'6", can make all the throws. He's accurate. I think he was 67% accuracy, at Arizona. So to me, I mean, it's his job to lose, but, Peter Parrish, dual threat quarterback, same thing with Keelan Brown and Seth Hennigan. I think he's better than, what people realize. So, he could push for playing time. But in the end, I think it's, like I said, I think it's Grant Gunnell's job to lose, and I have a feeling that, he'll be named starter sooner rather than later. And even though Silverfield and some of the coaches say, this battle could go into, the first game or so, in the first game, I think you may see more than one quarterback just to get the experience in, just in case something happens to Gunnell. But in the end, to me, I think he's too good, to not place as the starter.
The offense last year really struggled to run the ball. That was one of the big issues they had. With Brady White gone, with some of the receivers gone, I think they're going to need to run the ball better this year. Do you believe the stable of running backs and this offensive line will be able to do that?
There's nowhere else to go but up. So, in my opinion, I think they'll be better. Yeah. But look at some of the guys. I was high on Eze when he came in, but he was still raw. He was inconsistent last year, but you bring in Devontae Dobbs, for everything that I've seen and heard, he's producing. He's going to be better, than what Eze did last year. You bring in Dylan Parham, you move him to right guard. You brought in Austin Myers from TCU. Jagari Robinson from Cincinnati. He should be, at center. It's going to be a fun one to watch as well. How soon or how quick does this offensive line gel? Running backs, you're like 10 deep at running back. So, I'm not worried about the running back. You got Asa Martin, who came on strong last year, Rodriguez Clark. You moved over Gabe Rogers and Darius Coffey. Both of them, are quick as lightning. So, you still got Kalen Watkins who can, catch out of the backfield. So, to me, I'm not worried about the running back. It's the offensive line. How quick can they gel and just come together as a unit? And, the schedule sets up nicely for them, to do so. Because, each week it gets a little bit harder and harder. So, I think will come together well. And, with the guys that they got in. And the ones that are pushing for playing time, like the 2D, you got Jonah Gamble. He'll push Isaac Ellis there at left guard. Jacob Blake, who played very well last season, but he's going to, he'll push for playing time at center, even though Jagari Robinson, I think, will start. So these kids, they're more than just, the stars. They got a legit 2 deep chart anywhere on the offensive line. And that's why I think they'll be better, because the iron sharpens iron, and I think they got a lot of playmakers there on that offensive line.
All right, we talked about the quarterback situation, and I certainly agree with you that it's Gunnell's job to lose, but there is a battle going on and trying to figure out the offensive line. But what are the other 2-3 biggest storylines that we need to keep an eye on for this camp starting today?
To me, my number one thing is wide receiver. Who's going to be the other wide receiver besides Calvin Austin? You need someone to step up. Javon Ivory will be there, Jeremy Tate in the slot. I think it's a perfect opportunity for that true freshman, Rock Taylor. He's a 4-star out of high school coming in. I think he has a chance to make some noise, but you have talent there. Kobe Webster was a 3-star. Kai Matthew was a 3-star. So, to me, someone needs to step up other than Calvin Austin, because, I think he had a breakout season last year, as everybody knows. He's going to see more double team this year, so someone needs to step up. And Sean Dykstat, tight end, he's solidified himself. But backup, who's going to back him up? Drew Martin or Arrington McCray? So wide receiver and tight end on the offense. Defensively, I think they're set. I think this is the best defense Memphis has had in quite some time, especially at defensive line. You got a legit 2 deep, more than that, because Greg Emerson, Tennessee transfer, came over. So, this defense, I think, is going to keep them in a lot of games.
And I mean, and we talked with Quindell Johnson earlier in the week, and last year, obviously, with Mike McIntyre coming in, and then no spring practice and all of the other stuff. I mean, they weren't kind of probably on the same page a whole lot. Now, with a year to actually get used to that system and a lot of experience returning, you would expect the defense to be a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. And they got the playmakers that they have. A lot of them came back. Like I said, the defensive line is stacked. Morris Joseph, I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. I mean, he was up there in sacks. I think he had, 8 sacks last year. I think he'll have a bunch this year. John Tate is back from his injury, so he's going to, play well at nose tackle. And then Kawan Robinson, who was, played when he was down. I mean, he's going to be a great backup because, you saw what he did last year. So defensive line, like I said, they'll be in a lot of games this year. Linebacker is all stacked. J.J. Russell, I think, watch out for him. He's going to have another great year. Cornerback, you got Julian Barnett coming in from Michigan State. I think him alongside Jacoby Francis, but Francis will be pushed by Londre Thomas. So it's going to be a fun battle to watch at cornerback. But this defense. When's the last time Memphis had this good of a defense or people were excited about? Was that 2015 when Barry Odom was the defensive coordinator? I think this defense will even top that because back then I think they were ranked top 30 or top 40 defense in the country back then. But this defense has a chance to beat that.
I think the great Gabe Kuhn will back me up on this, but there are 3 phases to the game, Brian Moss. There's the offense, the defense, and the special teams. And Memphis has had great special teams. Let's be honest. It's helped them win games. They have a new special teams coordinator. They have a new kicker. They have a new punter. There's changes all over the field. How good are they going to be? Because you certainly don't want to make mistakes with the special teams.
No, they have talent. David Kemp, Cole's kicking had David Kemp, I believe, number 4, number 5, top kicker in the country in high school. So, he's there. Obviously, he's unproven, but we didn't know, about the other kickers that have come before him, when they started out. Jake Elliott, he was an unproven commodity, but he was highly regarded in the kicking world coming out of high school. Same thing with David Kemp. So, the talent's there. We just have to wait to see if it develops quickly.
So, Brian, away from football, do you believe that the Tiger basketball team will get good news this afternoon from Jalen Duren?
If I was a betting man, my money would be on Memphis.
Do you think Amani Bates follows him?
Say that again?
Do you think Amani Bates follows him?
That's going to be an interesting to watch. Speaking to the guys at Rivals, they feel that both of them will go to Memphis. I'm more confident with Duren than I am with Bates, but Memphis has a good shot. If Penny can grab both of them, man, this is going to be a very, very exciting year. You could preseason top 10, you would think, Final Four expectations. So I'm highly confident that Duren, less confident on Bates, but we'll have to wait and see.
All right, one final question. I'll bring it back to football. I asked this of Eli yesterday on the show. Right now, with the Tigers football schedule, how many games would they be favored in your opinion?
They have to at least be favored minimum 8-9, just looking at the schedule right now. And possibly more. But let's see, I don't think they would be favored against UCF. At Houston, maybe not, but we'll see. 8-9 is what I would say they would be favored at, just looking at the schedule and not looking at the books right now or the ESPN or whoever has the odds. But I would say 8-9 right now. What do you guys think?
I said 8. And with the Tulsa game, I kind of had as a toss-up at Tulsa because that'll depend a lot, I think, on what happens up to that point. Tulsa seems to play better sometimes, but I said 8.
Look, obviously things happen, and then you make, Vegas will make their move. They'll have odds out now for the season totals, but week to week, you see what happens. You may have a quarterback that's out. You may have a star running back that's out. So obviously it's fluid. But right now, if we just looked at it, I think 8 is probably the number. You said they wouldn't be favored against UCF. They're not going to be favored against Cincinnati, I wouldn't think. I don't believe they'll be favored against Mississippi State, even though it's a home game. But again, by the time they play State, who knows? A key injury here or there, it could happen. But right now, I would say probably 8's the number as far as the Tigers being favorites. And again, we thought about it because here they are picked 5th in the preseason poll. If they were favored, let's say, in the 8 games that Eli said yesterday, he had them favored, not favored in the Mississippi State game. So he had them favored in 5 of the 8 conference games. So let's say if you win those games because you are the favorite, 5-3, where would that put you in the league? He said probably around 3rd or tied for 3rd. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that the way this league goes, who knows? It could be even 2nd, depending on how the other teams play, because it seems like the AAC loves to beat each other up. But no worse than 3rd if you're 5-3.
All right, what would be a disappointing season win total wise?
Yeah, in my opinion, 7. I'm really bullish on and very excited about this season. So to me, I think if I had to pick right now, I would say 9 wins, 9 to 10. 10 would be the ceiling for me. But if they stumble and get 6, 7, I would consider it a disappointment. Even though you're still going to a bowl game, I just think the defense is that good that as long as you get some type of play out of Gunnell and the offensive line, I don't see less than 8 wins. So that's why I say anything less than 8 would be a disappointment for me.
He is Brian Moss, publisher of TigerSportsReport.com, part of the Rivals and Yahoo Sports Network, covering the Memphis Tigers. You can follow him on Twitter at RivalsBMoss. Brian, we'll be talking soon, I'm sure. Make sure you guys keep up with Brian Moss for everything that's happening with the Tigers, and especially with what is happening in camp, which gets underway later today. Thank you, my friend.
I appreciate you guys. Have a great day.
You too.
Moving can be a stressful time for folks. It's not easy. You got to try, especially if you're trying to do it yourself. That's just a bad idea. You don't want to try and do that. Get the experts to help you. Black Tie Moving. Saw my buddy Corey Carpenter from Black Tie Moving out here yesterday watching some golf action. The Black Tie Moving, they will sit down with you. They come up with a plan for you, for your needs, for your budget. However, what you want them to do. Maybe you want them to pack and unpack, do everything for you. Maybe you're going to do the packing and unpacking. You just need them to move your stuff. Well, they'll do whatever, and they're going to sit down and come up with that plan with you and make sure you're not paying for things that you don't need them to do. Then they'll give you a no-obligation quote to let you know exactly what it will cost when you go with the folks at Black Tie Moving. A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, 5-star ratings all over online. Give them a call, 901-316-6196. 901-316-6196, or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get that no-obligation quote from the experts at Black Tie Moving.
An incredible hypothetical that I will ask of you when we return. And there are red-hot golfers on the course right now. I'll tell you about the latest to hit the course and just go crazy when we return. WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational Round 2 is underway, and we're broadcasting live from TPC Southwind right here on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Sports Time with Wallo and Stacks. Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solution.
I'm Brian Elder. The great Kimmons Wilson of Holiday Inn had a slogan: the best surprise is no surprise. And that's so true. When I sit at your kitchen table, you're going to understand exactly what I'm going to do to your roof. From the underlayment to the hip shingles and ventilation, the flashing, the wood repairs, the cleanup, the crew safety, the warranty. It's amazing how many customers sign contracts being told none of that stuff. But the best surprise is no surprise. Insurance claims. Talk to your friends. More and more claims are being rejected, and only experienced claims specialists are getting those terrible decisions overturned. So if you don't hire me, please hire someone to manage the process with the experience to see it through. The best surprise is no surprise. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Magic in Memphis. Excellence delivered. Where the world comes to showdown. To be the king of Grind City. Today's stars, tomorrow's legends. Taking care of business. Compete to conquer the world. Don't miss the World Golf Championships FedEx St. Jude Invitational. August 5th through 8th. For more information, visit WGCFedEx.com.
Need to sell your home? You're in luck because I buy houses. All you have to do is call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that PIN, 901-406-1101, or just save it in your phone. Bill at I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses buys houses in any area, in any condition, at any time. As simple as that. I Buy Houses is guaranteed to close in 5 days. So if you need your cash fast, just call Bill at I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. Has your house been on the market? Were you just tired of renters? Or is it just time to start over? Well, avoid repairing, cleaning, painting, and prepping your house. Just pick up the phone and call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses. If you're in Southwind, South Memphis, North Mississippi, North Memphis, Collierville, if you can hear this, just call my friend Bill at I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Your second-round leader, Harris English, at 11 under par, is now in the 18th fairway, so we can watch that group with Colin Morikawa and Hideki Matsuyama as we speak to you. Of course, Morikawa, the reigning Open champion, Matsuyama, the reigning Masters champion. Harris English at 11 under par has a two-shot lead over Ian Poulter at 9, Jim Herman at 8. You were talking earlier about how hot Cameron Smith is. He had the Eagle. They're playing, his group's playing the front 9. In his group is Bryson DeChambeau and Dustin Johnson. Well, DJ is that red-hot guy that I teased before the timeout. He is 4 under through 4 on his round after shooting 1 under yesterday, 69. So DJ now at 5 under par. Cameron Smith's at 6 under, and Bryson DeChambeau 1 under through 4 is also 6 under par.
Yeah, DJ, Eagle number 3 as well. His was a little more old-fashioned. Cameron Smith hold out for the bunker. DJ had hit it close up there, fairly close, and made his putt for Eagle on number 3. So that group had some success on number 3.
There's about, as I look down the whole leaderboard, 66 players in all in the field. There's only about 8 or 9 right now, maybe 10 or 11, if I do my math right, 10 or 11 that are over par. Everybody else is in red figures or they're even par. The worst right now on the course for this round today is Kevin Kisner, who had 2 early birdies, is now 4 over for his round, and he has dropped to 1 over par. Lucas Glover is 3 over for his round. He's now dead last in the field at 4 over. Rory, even through 4, still remains at 2 over par. Adam Scott shot a 74 yesterday, 2 under on his round today, so he's gotten the +2. Victor Hovland is 1 under par, and he's also at +2, but they are towards the bottom of the leaderboard.
Brooks Koepka, also Eagle number 3. So the Eagles are flying on number 3 today.
Love it.
They are taking full advantage of the par 5 on the front 9, and a lot of folks making Eagle on that one. So you better be at least making birdie on that hole. You're giving up probably about a shot and a half to the field. Of course, this group with Harris English, the leader, who was now on the 18th green, they'll be making that turn and going over to the front 9, where yesterday English played almost perfect golf in shooting 28 on the front side. We'll see what he's able to do today with that, but he's got about a 25-footer for birdie here on 18. Yesterday he hit it to tap-in range here on 18 to wrap up his day.
The Athletic has an interview with O.J. Simpson, and they say for the first time in 12 years he speaks on the record about the arc of his complicated legacy. I doubt he's going to speak completely on the record. I think there's maybe one thing that he is not honest about. But I bring this up because here's the hypothetical. In this interview, O.J. Simpson says, quote, "How many Americans, even today, wouldn't like to live my life?" I wouldn't. I know with his life comes the notoriety, the celebrity, the unbelievable football career, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the accolades, the USC Trojans, all that. And look how he's now not perceived, but how people look at O.J. Simpson as a despicable human being who spent time in jail for something else other than the murder, and yet he feels that people would want to live his life. Are there people out there that would want to live his life?
Well, or is he saying have lived his life or live his life as he lives today? I don't know what his life is today. I don't know what he does on a daily basis. I don't know where he is.
I can't imagine he's talking about right now towards the basically end, final year.
There would be a lot of people, I would guarantee, would take his life today. And I don't know what that is.
He's talking about having lived my life. How many Americans, even today, he's saying, how many Americans even today, because before that double murder, people would have wanted to trade their lives with O.J. Simpson, probably a high percentage. He says, how many Americans even today wouldn't like to live my life, live his life? He's not talking about now in his golden years. He's talking about his entire life. Traded in all the good of his life with the bad. I can't imagine there'd be too many people that would take him up on it. Even though he got off, right? He's found not guilty.
I wouldn't want to spend time in jail, so I would not want to do that.
Exactly.
But again, if he's talking about living his life today, a lot of people would.
I could be wrong. I haven't read the article. I can't imagine that's what he's talking about. Like, how many people want to even trade that today? So what? He finger pointed every time he's out there in the public. People are pointing fingers at him or looking at him with a strange disdain, and then he's always being scrutinized, and understandably so.
Well, all he does now is get on Twitter and play golf. I mean, that's like his whole life.
That's why a lot of people.
But he's still him.
A lot of people would take that life today.
Do you want to be the person that goes out to a restaurant and is looked at by every single person is looking at you with disdain? Do you want that? Do you want to look knowing that everybody is staring at you? I don't think it's what he's even talking about. I think he's talking about trading the life of all the greatness of his life, all the television, the movies, the celebrity, the football, the Hall of Fame, and then, of course, what happened where he got off the hook on that one and then went to jail for something else. Would they trade that in? I don't believe that they would.
I've got a pair of tickets for tomorrow here at the FedEx St. Jude Invitational. If you want to come out tomorrow and bring a friend along, we'll take caller number 4. Caller number 4 gets a pair of tickets. They are for tomorrow only. 360-8255, the AutoZone phone line, 360-8255. Caller number 4, you can get a pair of tickets to come out and see the world's best golfers here at TPC Southwind tomorrow at the World Golf Championship FedEx St. Jude Invitational. Caller number 4, 901-360-8255.
I think DJ just chipped one that went around the hole and out. Would have been another birdie for Dustin Johnson. We've got some NBA news when we return. Of course, a
we've
busy
got
day
caller
in the
number
NBA.
4, by the way.
Boy, that was quick.
We will have another pair coming up in our final hour.
NBA news when we return. Also, 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. It's going to be pretty easy, in my opinion. So you can jump on the phone lines right now, the AutoZone phone lines at 360-8255 if you'd like to play 10 in a row. And then we'll be joined by the 2003 PGA champion, Sean McKeel, from right here at the Hub at TPC Southwind. That'll be about 12:30. So a busy third hour before we hand things over to John Harden and get ready for our weekend. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
Can I get serious with you for just a minute? When you shop at the Great American Home Store this week, you'll find incredible pricing on quality-built furniture that's built to last and give you years of use and enjoyment. But if you notice that so many things these days just seem to be disposable, but your furniture shouldn't be, right? And yet at the same time, we understand you may not want to keep a sofa around for 20 years. So we search for and find quality-built pieces made to last and keep the cost at, well, what other stores sell lesser quality for. Come in and compare, and we know you'll agree that at the Great American Home Store, you get the look for a lot less with quality. We have the Mid-South's largest selection of sofas in every style you can imagine, dining rooms from formal to casual. We have bar stools, bedrooms in the latest styles, and the top brand mattress sets from Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. So with great pricing and no interest financing, this is a great time to save. Seriously. But hurry, an offer like this can't last forever at the Great American Home Store.
Even in times like these, special occasions happen. And when an occasion calls for special, it calls for 117 Prime, Memphis's premier downtown dining destination. From the spectacular 36-ounce porterhouse paired with a Ferrari Carano Cabernet, to the jumbo lump crab cakes, to the raw bar with oysters fresh off the boat from the Gulf and the East Coast, there is simply no finer dining experience in Memphis than 117 Prime in the heart of downtown. These are complicated times, but if you want simply the best, you want 117 Prime.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies, we will hand you $100 if we can't. And thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Five-Ash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five-Ash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Need to sell your home? You're in luck because I buy houses. All you have to do is call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that PIN, 901-406-1101, or just save it in your phone. Bill at I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses buys houses in any area, in any condition, at any time. As simple as that. I Buy Houses is guaranteed to close in 5 days. So if you need your cash fast, just call Bill at I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. Has your house been on the market? Were you just tired of renters? Or is it just time to start over? Well, avoid repairing, cleaning, painting, and prepping your house. Just pick up the phone and call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses. If you're in Southwind, South Memphis, North Mississippi, North Memphis, Collierville, if you can hear this, just call my friend Bill at I Buy Houses. 901-406-1101.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Everyone's watching to see what you do. Everyone's looking at you. Oh.
We are certainly working for the weekend. The weekend is just about here. For us, we got an hour. And then we're going to hit the course and watch these great golfers finish up round 2. Spend the weekend here at TPC Southwind, as most of you will, watching the greatest golfers in the world, the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational. We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays, 12:03 the time on this Friday, August 6th, 2021. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy on location today inside the hub just off the 18th fairway at TPC Southwind. Gabe Kuhn is producing the program back in the Family Leisure Studios, where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Winton Road, just north of I-40. Sean McKeel's going to join us at 12:30 here at the Hub, the 2003 PGA champion. We got 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. That'll be coming up in just a second as well. But Harris English's lead cut to 1 by Jim Herman. Jim Herman won't go away. 4 under through 7 today after shooting a 64 yesterday. And he has one behind Harris English, who's 11 under. Ian Poulter is at 9. Cameron Smith with another birdie. Sam Burns with another birdie. They are at 7. Scotty Scheffler now at 7. Will Zalatoris, Bryson DeChambeau. Danny Berger now at 6 under par. He's 2 under through 4. Of course, he loves this course. Max Homa, Phil Mickelson, Louis Oosthuizen at 5. Carlos Ortiz, the only one that was near the top of the leaderboard after day 1 that is struggling. He is 1 over through 6, 5 under through the tournament. Dustin Johnson, Abraham Answer, Matthew Wolf is now 1 over through 5. They're all at 5 under, as is Mark Leishman, Colin Morikawa, Tony Finau, and a bunch of others at 4 under par. The scores continue to be low. It's overcast. Humidity starting to pick up a little bit, but there's no wind. That's been the key. There has not been any wind through 2 rounds here at the WGC.
Yeah, perfect conditions for these guys to come out here and go low, and that's just what they're doing. I mean, Harris English is just like, it's about locked in. Like, every shot is perfect pretty much, and he's making every putt that he looks at. Jim Herman, didn't see Jim Herman coming. I got to be honest, did not see the Jim Herman top of the leaderboard coming.
No, either did I. But so yesterday, after we wrapped up, I was walking around with a buddy, checking out the rest of the golf before it ended at around 4. We said 4, it ended like exactly at 4 o'clock. So we were standing next to a guy, and he was talking to another dude. He said, yep, I took for the first round I don't know if he said for the first round leader. I think he had Jim Herman, or for the tournament to win. I just looked at the guy going, really? You picked Jim Herman? Out of all these golfers, all these big names, you picked Jim Herman, and right now that guy sounds like gold. Jim Herman at 10 under par, 1 off the lead.
Ian Poulter is about to make, oh, God, he made it for bogey. He had about a 25-foot bogey putt, and he made it. Looked like he was going to make double bogey, but he gets out of there with a bogey, so he'll drop 1 on number 9.
Well, Reggie Jackson, who was terrific in the playoffs, is going to stay with the Clippers. Adrian Wojnarowski with a Woj bomb, reporting that it'll be 2 years, $22 million for Reggie Jackson. So that's a good move for the Clips to keep that guy.
Yeah, he was really good in the playoffs. Guy that can score for them.
Great relationship with Paul George.
Yeah, so no surprise that he is staying put in L.A.
Well, right now, if you'd like to at least have a shot at winning a great prize package, and that really gets your weekend going, It's a little something we call 10 in a row. All you need to do is jump on the phone lines right now at 360-8255. That's the AutoZone phone lines, 360-8255, because indeed it's time for 10 in a row.
Not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 in a row.
10 in a row. Easy question, I think, as long as you're a golf fan. Obviously, I have a golf question today since we're out here at TPC Southwood. What are our listeners playing for today?
Today, we are going to give away $25 in piggy bucks for Central Barbecue. We're going to do $25 to Sweetgrass, fantastic place at Cooper Young, and a couple of Malco movie passes. $25 to Central Barbecue, $25 to Sweetgrass, 2 Malco movie passes, going to the winner of 10 in a row.
All right, the question is golf major championship winners. And I've used only players that are in the field. So, I'm not going back to some guy who won in 1955. These are players that are playing this week here in Memphis. If they have won at least one major championship, that's the 4 majors. We're not including WGCs or Player Championship or Olympic Gold. You know the majors. I don't have to repeat it. If they've won at least one major, it's a yes. If not, it's a no. And again, I'm only using players that are in this field.
The AutoZone phone line, 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255, the AutoZone phone line to play 10 in a row. Again, the winner will get $25 in piggy bucks from Central Barbecue, $25 gift certificate to Sweetgrass, and 2 Malco movie passes as well. First up will be JC. What's up, JC?
What's up?
All right, here we go. Patch. You ready?
Yep.
Golf major championship winners. I'll give you the name of a golfer. If they won at least one championship, a major championship, it's a yes. If not, it's a no. Patrick Reed.
Yeah.
Ian Poulter.
No.
Lee Westwood.
Yeah.
360-8255. Who's next up?
Next up, we've got Barry. What's up, Barry?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Barry. Stuart
Hey, guys.
Sink. Hey, how you doing? First one, Stuart Sink.
Yes.
Daniel Berger.
No.
Louis Oosthuizen.
Yes. No.
Well,
you had it right the first time.
I got to take your first answer, so we're going to give it to you.
So you're right. You're still on. Lucas Glover.
No.
360-8255. Golf major championship winners. I'm only using golfers that are in the field this week.
I actually thought we would have a winner. I thought our first person would win on this one.
So did I.
360-8255. 360-8255, the AutoZone phone line to play 10 in a row. You're playing for $25 at Central Barbecue, $25 at Sweetgrass, and 2 Malco movie passes. We've got some open lines. Get in line if you want to have a chance to win. Bill is next up. Hey, Bill.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing well. Thank you, Bill. Okay, here we go. Golf major championship winners. Patrick Reed.
Yes.
Ian Poulter.
No.
Lee Westwood.
No.
Adam Scott.
Yes.
Webb Simpson.
No.
360-8255.
All right, folks, we got some open phone lines. Again, this is an easy one. This one's easy. Should be easy. I'm actually surprised we don't have a winner yet. 360-8255 is the phone number for the AutoZone phone line. Again, you got a prize package of $25 at Central Barbecue, $25 at Sweetgrass, and 2 Malco movie passes, all going to the winner. So get in line, folks. 360-8255.
By the way, Josh Allen, according to Adam Schefter, the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, there's a negotiation for a new deal with the Bills. Reportedly, 6 years worth $258 million with $150 million guaranteed.
Good money if you can get it.
Wow. That is really good money. Also, Chris Haynes reporting that free agent Wayne Kelly Oubre Jr. and the Charlotte Hornets are finalizing an agreement on a multi-year deal. Oubre spent last season with Golden State.
360-8255, the AutoZone phone line to play 10 in a row. Again, $25 to Central Barbecue, $25 to Sweetgrass, 2 Malco movie passes. Let's see if Tommy can win that. Let's go. What's up, Tommy?
Hey, Tommy.
How we doing?
Doing good?
Doing well. All right, Stuart Sink.
Yes.
Daniel Berger.
No.
Louis Oosthuizen.
Yes.
Lucas Glover.
No.
360-8255.
People
Golf
just don't want to believe
major
Lucas Glover won a
championship
major.
winners.
It's hard to believe Lucas Glover won a major, but he did win a major.
Well, he won a major, then he disappeared for years, and then he won a PGA Tour event, and he's in this field.
Greg is next. Hey, Greg.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing
good?
well, Greg. Patrick Reed.
Yes.
Ian Poulter.
No.
Lee Westwood.
No.
Adam Scott.
Yes.
Webb Simpson.
Yes.
Mark Leishman.
No.
Dustin Johnson.
Yes.
Jordan Spieth.
Yes.
Rory McIlroy.
Yes.
Colin Morikawa.
Yes.
There you go.
No, see?
Wasn't that hard? Nice job, Greg.
No,
My
that was
namesake.
easy. Thanks.
Congratulations, Greg. You are a winner. You got $25 from Central Barbecue. You got $25 to Sweetgrass. You got a couple of Malco movie passes coming your way. Gabe will take care of you. You won't be able to pick those up until Monday at the earliest, Greg. I do want to let you know that. All right?
Okay. Yep.
Thanks,
Greg.
Greg.
Hold on. There we go. Congratulations to Greg. We got another Greg on the line. Just since it's another Greg, I'll give him a chance at the second chance here.
All right. Greg,
What's up,
you there?
Greg 2.
Greg squared. Yeah, let's do it.
Well,
All
actually,
right.
it's kind of Greg cubed, really.
Yeah, let's get another Greg winner. All right, here we go.
There you go.
Stuart Sink.
Yes.
Daniel Berger.
No.
Louis Oosthuizen.
Yes.
Lucas Glover.
Yes.
Billy Horschel.
No.
Phil Mickelson.
Yes.
Brooks Koepka.
Yes.
Shane Lowry.
Yes.
Paul Casey.
Man. I'm going to say, I think yes, but I'm saying no.
You made the right choice. Justin Rose.
Yes.
There you go. Second chance winner. What a day.
There you go, Greg. You are a winner. We'll get you some Central Barbecue and Sweetgrass as well. Hold on.
Congratulations. We just talked about that deal for Josh Allen. It's official now. 6 years, whopping money. Not as big for Matt Barkley, but reportedly he has signed with the Titans. Titans have a quarterback go down? The journeyman Matt Barkley. I'd rather have Matt Barkley on the Colts than Brett Hundley, who they signed. Of course, Jacob Eason, it's his opportunity. What did you think about what?
Do you think it's going to make a difference? Think Matt Barkley's going to be the answer?
No. No, but at least he's played in the NFL. I mean, Eason, he hasn't taken a snap, I don't believe. And then Hundley, he was out of football last year, and they signed him. What did you think of what Phillip Rivers had to say about the possibility of coming back?
I told you. Give him a call.
But here's the
He's
thing.
your guy. You need some more walk-off interceptions.
But here's the thing. When Phillip Rivers said, I'm not saying that I'm done. I know I retired, but if somebody needs me at the end of the year, something's like, wait a minute, no. We need you now, Phillip. We need you in Indianapolis now. He's
pretty
coaching.
sad state of affairs if when you really need Phillip Rivers.
We do though. But here's the thing. He's not talking about now because he's getting ready to coach high school. He's got his 9 kids. He's thinking like relief later in the season for a team. No, it's right now. If the Colts are going to do anything, they have to do that now because the hope is that Wentz, with his injury, will return and sooner than later because, again, we heard, 5 to 12 weeks, which is a big gap between those two as far as what the difference could be. 5 weeks, you get Wentz back, you may still be in good shape. 12 weeks, it's a whole different ballgame. But if it's Phillip Rivers that you want to go after, you got to go after him now and try to convince him to put off coaching the high school team for another year and spending more time with the River clan and coming back to the Colts. Because if Jacob Eason, if people believe that's the answer, they are sadly mistaken.
Well, if I understand Phillip Rivers thinking, like, if you can, once this, he doesn't want to get beat up for an entire season, but if at the end of the year you could come in and somebody needs a quarterback for maybe a month,
right?
And you could go make some decent money for a month. Probably not a bad gig.
No, I completely understand where he's coming from. He's thinking the high school season will be over. I'm staying in shape. I'll be ready to relieve somebody at the end of the year. That's why, the Colts need to go after him, I think. But I believe he would turn them down. I don't think he's ready to go and play football now. Like you just said, and I added, high school season's over. He's able to do that and keep his commitment to that and still play, if need be, to pick up that extra money. Look, you got 9 kids. I don't care how much he's made. He's made an awful lot. It's never enough. I want to tell you about FanDuel, folks. Speaking of money, one of the things I love about betting on FanDuel Sportsbook is you get more than one shot to swing for the fences every single time. And right now, new and existing users can get up to $25 back in site credit each day. Just place a minimum 5-leg baseball parlay, and if it falls 1 leg short, you get up to $25 back with parlay insurance. A chance to put a small bet down and win big. Odds are high, which results in great payouts. Now, there is a reason FanDuel Sportsbook is America's #1 sportsbook. The app is simple to use. They've got great odds on all different betting markets, unique fun bet types like same-game parlay and always-on promotions to let you get more action out of every game day. And when you win, FanDuel will pay you your winnings in as little as 24 hours. Today in Major League Baseball, I'm going for a couple of the underdogs. I like the Red Sox to win at the Blue Jays. Red Sox on the road. Toronto is a -140. And I also like the Giants to win at the Brewers, where the Brewers are a -145. In addition to the parlay insurance, if you haven't tried FanDuel Sportsbook yet, new users can place your bet or first bet risk-free. New users get up to $1,000 back in site credit if your first bet doesn't win. That's amazing. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app, sign up with promo code GASMAN, and get in on the action. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code GASMAN. Must be 21 or over, present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only for risk-free bet. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max refund is $25 per game. Restrictions apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. If you have a gambling problem, call Tennessee Redline at 1-800-889-9789. When we return, the 2003 PGA champion, our friend Sean McKeel, will join us from live inside the hub, just off the 18th fairway here at TPC Southwood. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and Anthony Zane comes your way every weekday morning from 7 till 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Speaking of golf, this is Marty Fulton. You probably remember me from Holiday Golf, Whispering Woods, or Plantation.
I'm a PGA Life member, and over the years, I found whenever I advised Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark Spinsdorf about his golf game, whether it was about equipment or his swing, invariably he still couldn't hit the ball out of a paper bag, mainly because he spent so much time selling homes. That's why people often say, when you want the job done, you call Sheldon.
Thanks, Marty. That's right. I spend far too much time on my house game than on my golf game. I tell people that they need to talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers and make sure that I am one of them. They need to find out the difference in what others do and my highly successful strategic marketing program with the Shellbucks option. If you or someone you know is thinking of selling their home, have them contact me, Shell Dunn Rosengarten at 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. That's 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. Do it now.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Can I get serious with you for just a minute? When you shop at the Great American Home Store this week, you'll find incredible pricing on quality-built furniture that's built to last and give you years of use and enjoyment. But if you notice that so many things these days just seem to be disposable, but your furniture shouldn't be, right? And yet at the same time, we understand you may not want to keep a sofa around for 20 years. So we search for and find quality-built pieces made to last and keep the cost at, well, what other stores sell lesser quality for. Come in and compare, and we know you'll agree that at the Great American Home Store, you get the look for a lot less with quality. We have the Mid-South's largest selection of sofas in every style you can imagine, dining rooms from formal to casual. We have bar stools, bedrooms in the latest styles, and the top brand mattress sets from Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. So with great pricing and no interest financing, this is a great time to save. Seriously. But hurry, an offer like this can't last forever at the Great American Home Store.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Cold wet December day, we touched the ground in JFK. Snow was melting on the ground. Yes, I heard the sound of an angel.
Breaking news, according to AccuWeather, the wind's now gusting at 2 miles per hour.
Man, it's getting out of control.
Yeah, so when you come on out here, hold on to something. You might get blown around the golf course. We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays. Greg and Eli on location, Gabe producing back in the Family Leisure Studios, and we are joined by the 2003 PGA champion, our good buddy Sean McKeel, who you can follow on Twitter at Sean McKeel PGA. You've been watching these guys for a little bit today. Look, it is a tough course. You know that better than we know that, yet when the conditions are like this, Sean, the best in the world can eat it up pretty well.
Yeah, well, looking at the scores yesterday, it's the greens are holding. Those are the things we didn't see. When we transitioned from bent grass, where John Cook shot 26 under, to the next year and even beyond, single digits, was winning the tournament. We had firm greens, and you're not seeing that. And again, when you have, soft fairways, soft greens, that's what's going to happen. So I don't know if it was an intentional thing to soften the greens to allow great scores, because this place is definitely tougher than the way it's playing.
And today, with no overcast skies, no sun to really bake it out at all either, it's going to continue.
That's right. That keeps the moisture in the greens and stuff. But look, it's fantastic golf. It's been a long time since I've been out to a golf tournament when I wasn't participating. But it's fun to see the guys. It's great for the city of Memphis. I know they're going through a bit of rebranding. 2 years into this FedEx St. Jude Invitational, I guarantee you they're giving away hats, giving away tumblers, anything that says it. So if you want something free, it might be time to come out and get it. But
there'll be collector's items, right?
Yeah,
it'll be 3 total years, 1 a COVID year with the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational. But it's positive because next year it's the first of the 3 playoffs. What are your thoughts about that news, turning this event into a playoff event?
When the FedEx Cup came out in 2007, it didn't take long to kind of realize, hey, we need to have the FedEx Cup end in Memphis, Tennessee? How can you not? I mean, those are just the things that I think of. Being a FedEx person, everybody knows my story. It only makes sense. I mean, how do you have the FedEx Cup champion being presented the FedEx Cup in Atlanta, Georgia? This is Memphis. This is FedEx. So maybe we're trending that way. I put something out on social media, no inside information on my own, but I just kind of figured that maybe they're going to do something to where maybe it's a rotation type of thing or but it's fantastic. And it's going to appease the membership too, because you're going to lose a couple of the WGCs, which may be a good thing, adds to a more full field, gives the spectators the opportunity to come out and see more golfers. Yeah. There's a lot of importance, probably more importance on the playoffs than the WGCs. I mean, the WGC is great for your bank account. It's great for FedEx Cup points, and they give you a longer exemption if you win. But other than that, I think it's going to be a lot better for us.
You talk about having the Tour Championship here, and I've heard that brought up. I'm a little torn. I get it, like it's the Tour Championship.
30 players, right?
But it's only 30 guys. Yes. Like I don't want to. Quite frankly, as a golf fan, I don't want to only see 30 guys here. I would rather see the 125 guys for more golf to watch.
No, that's right, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier. Is that what's going to expand the field by 65 or more? We're going to have 125, so 65 guys next year. It'll give the fans a little better opportunity, and again, it appeases the membership. To get rid of a smaller event and add places to the field for more opportunities to play. So when they started out, people were a little leery of them because when I was playing most of my golf, you'd come to the last week of the year, whether it was tournament 42, and it's over. Who finished in the top 125? And now there's at least a little visibility, there's a little bit more volatility. Who's going to go on? Top 70 is for invitationals. Top 30 is for all the majors. And there's all these different criteria that you get in for all these big events that people may not understand. But that
was part of the problem with the playoff at the first. People didn't understand it at all. And they had that whole thing where, like, the guy who won the Tour Championship may not win the FedEx Cup and all that stuff. And you're like, people are confused. Now that they've done that staggered scoring to start the Tour Championship where the winner of the Tour Championship is the FedEx Cup winner, I think people now understand it a lot more.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, with Vijay Singh won the one year, he basically just had to sign his scorecard the last day. As long as he showed up and finished 18 holes, he was going to be. And I think that, and they worked their way through it. I mean, I think they're working on something to try to implement something exciting for the players, exciting for the fans, just something new. Look, you got to keep changing. You got to keep, as we're seeing, our names changing once again. How many name changes have we gone through? I can't think of another tournament that had the same sponsor, but yet different names. You don't see the John Deere Classic being named the Classic of the John Deere or whatever.
But we're moving in the right direction.
But we are.
Moving up.
Well, we're constantly moving up. I mean, what started out 50-some years ago in Memphis, Tennessee was fantastic. I mean, for the St. Jude, the partnership that they have, it's arguably the best. Jack Nicklaus has a great one, and there are so many great charities. But FedEx and St. Jude is a worldwide. When you see those two together, you think of Memphis, Tennessee.
Absolutely right, Sean. Well, going back to, and I forget what year it was, I would imagine you were probably still playing this event because the years all blend after a while. But we had Stanford as the title sponsor, and we almost lost this tournament. It was FedEx that bailed it out. And now look where we are. That's how important that a sponsor is and how important FedEx is. Because remember, we get the playoff spot next year that was originally, was it Northern Trust?
Yeah.
Yes.
Northern Trust, which is not there, which is not sponsoring anymore. So this could go away poof if FedEx decided they wanted to do that. But that's why we love FedEx and what they've done for this community, for this tournament, for all the folks here. That's how important FedEx is to all of our lives, and especially for golfers here.
Well, you watch any of these sports. You watch Premier League soccer. You watch any of the Wimbledon. You see FedEx everywhere. They have a global reach. They're one of the few companies around that have that, kind of that cachet, I think, and then have the dollars to behind it.
Right.
They got a lot of people that care about this city. They obviously care about this tournament. They certainly care about St. Jude and the patients and the families, surrounding that. So. As everybody knows, my father was one of the very first pilots hired by Federal Express. And so I bleed purple and orange, you know. And there's not a day that goes by when I'm playing that I don't follow one of those planes coming over Ridgeway Country Club, you know, just thinking about the early days and really how far they've come. And we've certainly seen that with the golf tournament, and it's great to see the people out here enjoying themselves. And I brought my daughter out today to see a little bit of golf. So she abandoned ship and left with her mother to go try to find her Australian crush in Adam Scott. So she's at that age now. She's at 14. So I'm happy to bring her out. It's exciting and just grateful to be out here.
It's just funny when you just said Federal Express. Like, it's so weird to hear that now. Like, it's just FedEx. It's just like, I'm like, oh yeah, it was Federal Express. Like, you don't hear that ever.
And all I could think of is when he said, you know, the plane's flying over Ridgeway. Yeah, they're flying over your street, Sean, at Ridgeway.
What's going on? Like, how much golf are you playing? What's your situation right now?
Yeah, I mean, I played. Let's see, I played 4 events. I played the 2 weeks ago at the Senior Open Championship at Sunningdale. You haven't played a whole lot of golf, not by choice. You know, when you're not exempt, I mean, you have to do some great things. I mean, look what Doug Barron did.
Right.
You look what Lauren's done in his career. I mean, obviously a fantastic career. I mean, it's very difficult to become an exempt player out there. So I'm playing next week. I'm leaving Monday for Calgary. I think I'm home for a week to watch some soccer, and then I'm going out to Flint, Michigan, which will be to play the Ally Challenge, and hopefully I'll get a few more starts. But it's tough. You know, it's Monday qualifiers, and it's asking for some exemptions, although I haven't asked for too many this year. But, you know, you want to kind of play great golf to get into these events. But, you know, I don't know. It's frustrating. The longer I'm home, the more that I enjoy being there. But you know, when I come out and see this, it just kind of motivates me.
It's got to be weird because it's like, it's nice, like you said, bring your daughter out, have some fun with the family, but then you're also like, boy, this gives me the bug to want to play golf and be away from the family.
Right. Well, you know, I mean, that's the thing. So I was at playing the PGA Championship this year in at Kiowa. So every one of these guys was here, and I'm so envious of the young kids today. Just you know, for what they're playing for, the dollars and the cachet and all these things. I mean, it's fun to watch. It's really becoming more global. We're seeing that with the addition of the 3 events that are going to be kind of part of the European tour. That was always kind of trending that way. I do feel bad for Europe. I've spent a lot of time over there, and with the coronavirus cases and, you know, we're mitigating state to state. They're literally trying to mitigate country to country, and every country is so different.
Right.
And it's frustrating. It's very difficult on them financially. Then you put in the Brexit. So there's a lot of things that people over here don't think about, but I think about because I've played over there so many years. But it's an exciting time to be a young golfer and a really good golfer. I wish I was 25 years younger.
I tell you, man, it's like, I mean, the amount of money. We were talking with Lauren Roberts the other day, like, the amount of money it takes to be top 125 these days is crazy.
Well, I mean, you know, you guys were talking about it earlier with some of the athletes and these monster numbers. Steph Curry, 4-year extension, $215 million. I mean, you know, Mike Conley, who was my neighbor for a while, you know, just got an extension for $24 million for the last maybe 3-4 years of his playing career. I mean, maybe, you know, the tour is never going to get it to that level. It's just the business operates different, and people enjoy other things, you know. But I think Commissioner Monahan is trying to get things, you know, at least going in that direction. And it's not all about the money. Look, these guys don't play for boats and planes. But if you're gonna play for that amount of money, you might as well try to get some of it. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But
it's not. I mean, like this week, not a bad gig. When literally, if you get in the field and show up, you know the worst you're doing is like $40,000.
Yeah,
that's it. That's if you finish dead last. Here's a check for $40,000 for your efforts.
Yeah, I mean that's just kind of where it's going. You know, those were always the great events to get into. Gosh, if you got into those World Golf Championships, and I played a half dozen of them, you know. Just knowing all the points and, you know, the money kind of is secondary, although it does enter your mind. But it's just fantastic to see the way the sport's going.
Sean, we've had you on so many times. You've been gracious with your time, but I've never talked to you about the intricacies of playing in a tournament, which always interests me. So this is perfect. I can ask you these questions now about the golfer caddy relationship, everything that goes into going to an event. We just think like, well, they just show up and they go and play golf. But where you stay, where you go and eat in a city, the relationship with the caddy is, who is the caddy, and are you going together to the golf course? Does the caddy, is he responsible for your clubs? Are you responsible for your clubs? All things like that. Like, give me just any week during your prime on the tour. Give me kind of the rundown of how it went.
Well, I mean, when you have a caddy, I mean, he really becomes your best friend out there. I mean, he has your best interest at heart. I mean, he'll run through a wall of concrete to make sure you have everything, that your bag is set up the way it needs to be set, that the club, and it goes as simple as clubs, where the clubs go in the bag. That's one of my pet peeves. Todd Hamilton, 2004 British Open winner, he doesn't care what the caddy does. He just wants his clubs cleaned. He just wants his irons. He wants no dirt in his iron. That's all he wants. The other guys may be a little bit more difficult. You see the guys out here with their TrackMan, and the caddies they know their numbers. They know what the player needs. They have all of that stuff set up. They're there. You can rely on. It's like I said, it's really your best friend out there. And
I mean, do they have to set up their own travel? Do you do that for them? How does that team work?
Well,
and the caddy?
A lot of these guys that are playing here are flying private, so their caddy's probably flying privately with them.
With them, okay.
But not always. Sometimes the guys maybe they drive. Some guy likes to drive. He'll drive with some other caddies.
It's just meet me at a certain time.
It's just say, hey, what's your plan? And there are definitely players over the years that were better at communicating their desires and stuff to their caddy. Sometimes their caddy would show up on Monday at 9, and then the player wouldn't show up till 3 or 4 o'clock, and they didn't know. So most of the guys are not like that. But it's after a long time, the guys just kind of figure out your routine. They know you show up 40 minutes before your tee time, or an hour and 5 minutes, and they're always there waiting for you. I mean, look, the better they play, the better you guys do as a team.
Right. More money you make.
It's not just the guy just doesn't carry the bag, and that's kind of, I think, a misnomer. Each player needs something different.
Yeah.
Some guy might rely on a caddy to read the greens. Most do, most don't. They always want yardages. The player wants to stand there and be looking at the shot. What do I have in front of me? Give me the yardage. Let's think about, what did I do yesterday? I mean, what did I do on the day before? You have all that written down in your yardage book, and you need 2 people to do it. It's like flying a 777. You got to have 2 people to do it. One guy could probably do it, but to be real safe, you have to have 2, and that's what it requires out here. It's a team. It really is, and we could spend an hour probably talking about it, but
it's fascinating.
See, and one of the things that I find interesting is some of the guys from overseas, and I don't know if it's COVID related, but this has happened other years. Some of these guys, like I was mentioned off the air earlier, that Jonathan Fly is caddying today for Aaron Rye, and he's caddying this week for Aaron Rye, who obviously didn't bring his caddy over. So if you in that situation, like, how weird would that be to just pick up a guy for a week to be your caddy? Is that more like just kind of carry my bag, give me some yardages? I don't really need it. Like, how do you do that?
There are guys that do that. Alex Chake is a perfect example. Alex did it. Alex has won 2 senior majors this year, played very well on the tour. He likes to have a guy every couple weeks, just something new, something fresh.
Really?
Yeah, I picked up a guy, a local caddy named Steve at Sunningdale. Hey, what do you need? How far do you hit this club? I might give him a chart. I might write down the yardages for him and say, here, this is what I hit, everything kind of stock. But I'm just going to do my thing. And sometimes that's better, because sometimes you get caught in a little bit of a rut. Your caddy's wanting to help you, but you're not wanting to take the advice. Things have just gotten a little bit stale. So sometimes having a guy in the bag allows you to get away from, say, some of the technical side of the things you're thinking about in your golf game. Hey, I got my yardage book. I'm going to go get a yardage, and it takes my mind off what's really going on. So sometimes you need that.
Right. When you have a local caddy like that, do you kind of rely a little bit like some – even maybe around the greens, like, hey, like he might, like Jonathan Fly knows this golf course.
That's exactly right.
Way better than Aaron Ryan knows this golf course. So is he going to lean on him maybe on some greens and things that when he might be a little confused?
I think so. And I think you see that more with the younger crowd. The guys that are kind of the seasoned guys, like if Phil Mickelson picks somebody up, he probably wouldn't ask him a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you their relationship, Jonathan and who's the other person?
Aaron.
That, they're probably communicating about, hey, what's this hole do? What this pin location, what's over the green here. I mean, there are places on this golf course that if you just look out there, you think, I just hit it at the flag. But you don't realize if you just go over, I think of like number 12, for example. You go just over that green, it goes down in the creek.
Right.
You don't even see that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But those are things that a local caddy or your regular caddy would pick up on, and you notice that. Like I said, you can get in your own way out there. But it's,
do you think a guy who's as scientific and weird as DeChambeau, do you think that guy even depends on the caddy? He probably does it all himself with the formulas and the thing, all the weird stuff he does.
Well, I don't know. Tim and Bryson broke up 3 or 4 weeks ago. They went their separate ways, and maybe they come back together. And I haven't seen a whole lot about it, but I know that he had come out and said that Bryson's pretty demanding. Now, I don't know what that means. If that means in terms of his time, or if that means in terms of, I need these numbers, I need TrackMan set up here, I need this, I need you to download all of this stuff. I don't know if that's what that means.
Right,
but
right.
The game has changed. When I played, when Lauren played, when Doug played, when Vance played, when David Goss, all of us, Casey Wittenberg, it was basically go out and play the golf course and play by feel. And when you get done, hey, let's go grab some dinner. Well, these guys now, every one of them has a $25,000 TrackMan behind them. Every number, every little short chip shot, spin rate, it's overwhelming. It really is. But I feel like that's what the kids, that's what they need. I don't know. If you're not doing it, you're getting left behind.
That's what amazes.
That's a great point, Sean.
As you said, for you, it was you and your caddy. Now it's the caddy. There's a swing coach. There's probably a sports psychologist with them.
Yeah.
It feels like there's like a 6 or 7 man team. I'm like, I don't even know what they're all doing.
Yeah.
But when they're on the range, there's people everywhere watching them and breaking stuff down.
Yeah, it's tough because I'm kind of a solitary person. I don't like a lot of rah-rah. I don't like a lot of people around me. And then, of course, people say, well, maybe that's why you weren't that good. I'm like, well, maybe.
You won a major.
I know.
Hey, I don't care. Bottom line is you won a major.
But, the thing is, I think that's just what, people have made, and I'm not knocking this. Some of these people, these nutritionists and these swing doctors, these head doctors and stuff, they have made a fortune off of convincing these players, you got to have this. But when you think about it, and I go back to TrackMan, if you see one TrackMan, the next guy's interested, and then it just goes down the line. Then you feel like, well, I'm really missing out if I don't have one. So then it's this vicious cycle. Jordan Spieth kind of went through it more mental with his game and struggled a little bit. But whatever it is that people feel like they need to do well, it's not for me to tell anybody what to do. It just looks different. That's
the funny thing, because like when you said the TrackMan, so if one really good golfer who's having a lot of success has the TrackMan, like everybody else is, well, he's winning because he has this TrackMan. He has all this information. Or it may just be he's really good and he's better than you all. That's why he's winning. He just so happens to have this, and now you all think that's the reason he's winning.
It's the same thing. Look at my hat, Callaway. If a Callaway driver wins this week, guess what? On Monday, they're going to say Callaway's the number one driver in golf this week. They just want to, and then everybody's going to go out there. Oh, let's go see what the new driver looks like, the Epic Flash.
At some time, it's got to be it's got to be feel for the game, like you said, the way you played. Baseball, you can go up there and think launch angles, this. No, but you got to get up there and here's the pitch, swing and hit it.
Yeah, I think really the TrackMan is really for dialing in your numbers on what you really need, and that's testing a golf ball and a driver. I need to launch it at 13 with 2,000 spin, and so you hit that, you find a driver, and once you find that and you see the ball coming out, then you basically just use the TrackMan for practice. Although I do see a lot of guys taking their TrackMan out there on the golf course while they're playing.
I was watching somebody the other day in a practice round. I just watched, I think it was right here in 18. Like, they're sitting in the fairway in 18.
You just set it down.
I'm like, gosh dang, like, really? Like, we need this in the fairway to determine, there must be a method to the madness.
It could be trying a new golf ball. Who knows what the case may be. They're getting more spin off the zoysia grass. I don't know, but it's a different game, and to me, it seems like more of a job, and I guess that is what it is. I never liked it being a job, and again, that's probably why I wasn't a great player like these guys. I was good, but I didn't.
They're not all great out there, Sean.
Well, I didn't. I don't know. I just didn't do all those extra things that maybe I should have done. Take advantage.
You know who else didn't do all that stuff? Nicholas. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't there. It's there, so there.
It is.
You're right. They find one thing that works, and then everybody else has to follow it. But look. I don't care if it was Nicklaus's time or Sean's time winning the 2003 PGA Championship or now. We all love this game, and this game is as popular as it's ever been. Even with Tiger not able to play, this game is in good hands with a lot of great players. And, Sean, it's always great to catch up with you. You need to catch up to your wife and daughter.
Yeah, they're over there. Look, I guess they're on number 8, probably looking for Adam Scott, which ought to be coming up. So
that's going to be a new television series.
Well, let's put it
Looking
this
for
way:
Adam
I'm going to
Scott.
enjoy my walk to 8 to find them. So.
There you go.
Make sure to follow Sean on Twitter at Sean McKeel PGA. We'll talk to you soon, I'm sure.
Guys, thank you.
Always
Thanks,
great
Sean.
to
Enjoy
see
it. Yeah,
that's the 2003 PGA champion, Sean McKeel.
New Life Medical Center is located at 9160 Highway 64. They're open 7:30 to 5 during the week, Monday through Friday, and 9 to 1 on Saturday. Online at newlifemedcenters.com. They do primary and urgent care. So if you're feeling ill or not feeling your best, go see them. They'll help you out. They do COVID testing as well. They treat low testosterone in men. They treat erectile dysfunction. They've got weight loss programs that they do. They got a lot of different things helping people feel their best, be their healthiest. And you're at New Life Medical Center. 901-213-0100 is the phone number. You don't need an appointment to go by and see them, but you can make one if you like. But they are at 9160 Highway 64, New Life Medical Center.
Well, we were talking to Sean. There's been no change at the top, but English has a bogey, Poulter has a bogey, Herman has a bogey. It's getting really condensed. We'll take a look at the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational Leaderboard one last time on our program. We'll wrap up the week for us here on Middays with one final thing, and then we'll hand the keys to the car to the one and only John Harden for Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Grab a seat with Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour. Weekdays from 1 to 3 on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Magic in Memphis. Excellence delivered. Where the world comes to showdown. To be the king of Grind City. Today's stars, tomorrow's legends. Taking care of business. Compete to conquer the world. Don't miss the World Golf Championships FedEx St. Jude Invitational. August 5th through 8th. For more information, visit WGCFedEx.com.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
I'm Brian Elder. The great Kimmons Wilson of Holiday Inn had a slogan: the best surprise is no surprise. And that's so true. When I sit at your kitchen table, you're going to understand exactly what I'm going to do to your roof. From the underlayment to the hip shingles and ventilation, the flashing, the wood repairs, the cleanup, the crew safety, the warranty. It's amazing how many customers sign contracts being told none of that stuff. But the best surprise is no surprise. Insurance claims. Talk to your friends. More and more claims are being rejected, and only experienced claims specialists are getting those terrible decisions overturned. So if you don't hire me, please hire someone to manage the process with the experience to see it through. The best surprise is no surprise. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
If ever there was a time for comfort food, this is it. And there's no comfort food like Sunrise on Jefferson. Fresh-made breakfast featuring Sunrise's signature homemade square biscuits or the huge selection of hot, fresh, and fast lunch items are all part of what has always made Sunrise the most comforting of comfort foods in Memphis. Of course, everything that can be done to keep you and the staff safe at Sunrise is a top priority. And you can always order ahead and get delicious Sunrise to go. At a time this confusing, it's good to know there's one thing you can count on: Sunrise.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Again, thanks to all of our great sponsors for having us out here this week. Family Leisure, Gateway Tire, Automatic Air, Guns and Ammo, Coletta's, Napa Auto Parts, TJ Mulligan's, Great American Home Store, Jason's Deli, Ronnie Grisandi's, Belly Acres, and Golf Sticks Pretzels. I have another pair of tickets for tomorrow here for the World Golf Championship FedEx St. Jude Invitational. 2 tickets for you to come on out here tomorrow and watch some great golf action. We'll do we did a par 4 earlier. We'll do a par 5 this time. Caller number 5 on the AutoZone phone line at 901-360-8255. Caller number 5, 901-360-8255 gets a pair of tickets. You'll be emailed the tickets. You'll be able to get them right there on your phone because all of the ticketing is done digitally. Caller number 5, 901-360-8255. 2 tickets to come out to the World Golf Championship FedEx St. Jude Invitational tomorrow, Saturday, here at TPC Southwind.
All right, the Jalen Duren decision will be on his Instagram account that you could go to 5 to 6:30 Central Time. So tonight, possibly some huge news for the University of Memphis, and we'll see what happens with Amani Bates as well. Here at the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational, Harris English has given one back to the field. He's 2 under through 11 on his second round. 10 under still holds the lead. Ian Poulter had a bogey, but he's gotten it back with another birdie. So Poulter in second at 9. Jim Herman has a bogey to go to 8. But here comes Cameron Smith, 5 under through 8 holes today. He's at 8. Scotty Scheffler's at 8. Sam Burns, Carlos Ortiz, Abraham Answer, Danny Berger at 7. Will Zalatoris, Phil Mickelson just 4 behind, and Louis Oosthuizen all at 6, as is now Paul Casey, who's red hot, 4 under through 9. Bryson DeChambeau, Matthew Wolff all at 6. Leishman is at 6. Berger now has dropped from 7 to 6 after a bogey.
Yeah, Phil with a 30 on his first 9. I think that was the lowest 9-hole score he's had at a World Golf Championship over 9 holes since 2014, I think it was that I saw.
Taking advantage of the conditions.
No doubt about that. Time out for one final thing.
Before Greg and Eli get out of here for the day, they each have one final thing they think you should know to make it through the rest of your day. So here are Greg and Eli with one final thing.
Thank God for women in more than just sports, but in sports, thank God for women at the Olympics representing the United States of America. They have been able to bring in 60% of the medals won by the United States of America. And Allison Felix was at it again. She finished 3rd in the 400 meters Friday to win her 10th career medal and become the most decorated woman in the history of Olympic track. The 35-year-old Felix, a stalwart of American track and field, started in the outside lane, outraced Stephanie Ann McPherson of Jamaica to take 3rd place by 0.15 seconds. Way to go, Allison Felix and all the women of the United States of America.
Man, 35 years old, running the 400 at that level.
She's unbelievable.
That's unbelievable. Also unbelievable, along that line, the A-team. Love me the A-team in beach volleyball as they took the gold last night for the U.S. And April Ross, it's April and Alex, the A-team as they are known. April Ross completes her set. She now adds a gold medal to her previous silver and bronze. So she becomes the first to win a gold, silver, and bronze in that event. Of course, Misty May Trainer and Kerry Walsh Jennings, they had 3 golds. They didn't worry about the silvers and the bronze.
Right.
But April Ross now with a gold to go with her silver and bronze. They dominated in the gold medal match last night.
Phil just missed a birdie attempt by inches. You thanked our sponsors. I want to thank everybody that came out here and Joe Doss walking by here at the Hub, but all our great friends who've come by and said hello to us here at the Hub. Of course, Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio is still to come from out here, and then Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. Big thanks to our great guests, Ross Bjork, Brian Moss, and Sean McKeel. We have posted the Ross Bjork interview on the website in featured audio at sports56whbq.com. He had a lot of interesting things to say. Also, Monday, we will be at another golf tournament, the Courage Through Cancer Golf Tournament. We'll be coming to you from beautiful Spring Creek Ranch. For Gabe Kuhn and Eli Savoy, I'm Greg Gaston. Thanks for listening. Johnny's next. We'll talk to you on Monday.
In Lynchburg,